Hello, this is 1 Week Rental. We're covering Drop Dead Fred, a movie with a terrible critical reputation, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, but we're here to say that this is a really good movie, and we're going to tell you all about it. First, we go through the history of Drop Dead Fred, the production of the movie, where this idea came from, the careers of Rik Mayall and Phoebe Cates, the stars of the movie, and then a very, very detailed breakdown, review, analysis, discussion of Drop Dead Fred. All the information you ever could possibly want about this 1991 cult classic. If you're only here for the movie discussion, you can skip to that part in the episode, and the timestamp is on screen for you right there. Enjoy all of it on 1 Week Rental. Oh, yes, hello, snot lickers and boot sniffers everywhere.
Whoa, crotch lookers and booger pickers.
Snot face, that's what
Snot-face.
that's what you are, is a snot face.
Yucky, smelly dog poo.
We're going to be talking about a lot of poo in this movie.
It's a limited amount of poo. Mud pie as well.
Drop Dead Fred is the name of the movie that we have spent the past week with. We're going to tell you all about it on our podcast, 1 Week Rental, where we spend the week with a movie, and then we tell you all about it. My name is Matt Stokes.
And I am Laci Roth, and I am wearing green because I am pro Fred.
If this is your first time with us, we'll give you a little backstory, take you into our world. Laci and I are happily married for a long time.
Longer than I care to say.
So long that we were already years into our marriage when we started a podcast. We used to be called Load Bearing Beams, and episode 10 of that podcast was about this movie, Drop Dead Fred. And now it's 9 years later.
We strictly picked movies that were essential and core to our personalities at the time.
Yes.
We have strayed much.
We've strayed far from there, but we are going back to a classic load-bearing beam of Laci's.
What would you say this? Like a remastered. Like, what are we trying to do? It's like, now that we kind of know what we're doing, or we definitely know what we're doing more than we did then, what would George Lucas?
The special edition? This is special edition. Okay, yes,
yeah,
we're going to replace.
He's making it better.
Going to replace everything with CGI Jabbas. And I had never heard of the movie before I saw it for that episode. Up until then, Laci had been like showing me all these movies from her childhood, and then she's like, "You like it, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's stupid."
I had a lot of misses.
But Drop Dead Fred, with its very poor critical appraisal, I watched and I was like, "Laci, this movie's really good and really funny."
Yes, it's really funny.
And guess what, everybody? It's almost 10 years later, and I feel the same. If not, I think it's even better than I thought it was.
Yes, but
back then.
Because he puts his whole pussy into this. I mean, like, they picked the right person. He does everything at 100%, even the sweet stuff, and it all works. And it's perfect because Phoebe Cates is so calm and mousy, I guess.
She's very good. And
she's great.
Knowing what I knew about her going in, I'm bringing all of, my knowledge of knowing her from Gremlins and Fast Times and everything. But what I'm very glad I did is start doing some research on her before rewatching the movie. Mm-hmm. And it kind of brought a new dimension to this character. And we'll get to that in the history segment. So what we do on this show is we watch the movie twice. We research it. We review it, discuss it with each other, come up with little fan theories because we're fans, more than anything. And do some irresponsible psychoanalysis, including what we're going to do here, especially when we talk about Phoebe Cates vis-a-vis the character Lizzie. And that's the history segment, going through the history of the movie. And then we have a lengthy discussion of the movie itself. You can only get that if you're listening to us on the audio podcast. So if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and look at the link in the description and subscribe to us on our podcast. And leave us a review, and follow us on the social medias. Do all of that stuff that I always forget to tell you to do. Go ahead and hit that like, everybody.
Smash it, subscribe it.
Do you remember where you came across this movie? Like how would you have heard about it?
It always was. Me and Jamie just always watch this movie. And
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, me and Jamie Lee. Sorry. My cousin Jamie. Particularly Jamie. I watched it with all of my cousins, but this is one where she had the VHS. I'm almost positive. And it was just a constant in our lives. We love to quote it and act it out, put our heads in the refrigerator, slide on our backs and look at cobwebs.
Yeah, and I listened to the old episode, and Laci talked about having not seen it in 20 years, assumed it was terrible, but was laughing her ass off during the whole movie. And even in the podcast, she's like, I'm laughing just talking about him, just thinking about Fred. We watched the movie separately yesterday in separate rooms. And when I didn't hear laughter coming from the other room, I thought, oh no, does Laci not like this anymore?
Not a chance.
Nope. She started laughing her ass off again.
Because there's a lot of it's got a lot of heart. So there's a lot of parts where you're not meant to laugh, man.
And a lot of brain,
and
too.
goddamn, is Carrie Fisher good in this movie? I mixed her role in this movie and in When Harry Met Sally. I smushed them together because she's dating a married man in both.
That's just her. Yeah, she can't not do it. Yes.
I love her as a sassy businesswoman who's clearly an attorney.
The only thing I don't like her about this in this movie is Carrie Fisher is well known for rewriting her own lines.
She rewrote all of them.
And they stand out from the rest of the movie.
But you would have to have it makes sense for someone like Lizzie to have a best friend who's kind of a bitchy alpha woman. It makes sense why she would be drawn to her.
But having like these Woody Allen lines in this movie does kind of take you out of it every time she says one of them. When we were more focused on movies that we were personally attached to, we started noticing a theme with all of Laci's movies. And this might be the Urtext. And Laci, if you don't know her, I mean, to know her is to love her, but to know her is to also know there's a ferocious feral animal inside of her that is just waiting to just
let me jump on you.
Yeah, and just like slap you and just pull everything out of the refrigerator and just throw it.
No.
And so sometimes she makes it easy. And we'll talk about that in the movie discussion. Let's talk about Drop Dead Fred, the history of Drop Dead Fred. This movie has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, you might think that's really low, but I got to tell you, 9 years ago when we covered this movie for the first time, it was 9%.
Hell yeah, rising in the ranks. That's us. That is our impact.
I think it might be. Let's take a look at what Gene Siskel had to say about the movie.
Where's Ebert?
He's on
Okay, this was tough. Finding a film worse than Dice Rules. But I think I have one. My choice of the very worst film of 1991 is, according to me, Drop Dead Fred.
Wrong.
Sort of a pseudo-psychological bad Beetlejuice imitation. They really wanted to imitate that picture this year. The Fred character being, the Drop Dead Fred character, that is, being the imaginary childhood pal of a put-upon young woman played by Phoebe Cates, whose mother is overbearing and whose husband cheats on her. Eventually, she goes to a shrink to talk about her pestering childhood friend. Get ready for one of the most obnoxious characters in movie history as Fred is joined by some of his colleagues in crime. That's Rik Mayall as Fred. He's a British actor on an MTV show. That's another reason not to watch MTV. Supposedly, he's her excuse to act out her anger. He can do the things that she'd like to do. But in the movie, he's just annoying to us because he's as real as anything in the movie. Too real. I had to sit through 98 minutes of his screaming act, 98 minutes stolen from my life. And it really, I felt it was real aggravating.
You know, when
He
Drop
is
Dead
like, what
Fred
if a man
opened,
wore
I
a
was on
spoon?
vacation. I was out of the country. When I came back, you had already seen it, and I asked you if I should see it, and you said it would be on your list of the worst movies of the year, although I didn't realize it was going to rank so high as number one, but I'm glad I didn't see it
God.
now that I
Educate
see how high it was
fucking
on your
self.
list.
Consider it my holiday gift.
Thank you very much. I have a few.
Every review at the time mentioned Beetlejuice.
It's just because of the
And
house at the end.
That's not the only reason why.
I mean, I guess if the two are next to each other, he's got fun. His outfits are amazing, and Beetlejuice never changes his clothes. Fred is not dead.
Beetlejuice does change his clothes, but yes, this is a manic comedian, sort of being a plaything for a sort of waifish, shy girl. I mean, maybe Lydia isn't shy, but it's a natural comparison, and this does seem like a Tim Burton maybe wants his stripy paws on it.
Yes, well, and I guess I could see Debbie Reynolds with the red hair and stuff and being a crotchety fancy bitch. I could see her seeming like the mom, Catherine
Debbie
O'Hara.
Reynolds.
You said it. Her name is Debbie Reynolds. The mom.
No, I said Carrie Fisher's mother is Debbie Reynolds.
That's crazy.
The mother in this movie is Marsha Mason.
Her.
Okay.
She could be a Kmart Catherine O'Hara.
Yes, she could.
She's got quite a presence, and she is very good in this role, but nothing is Catherine O'Hara.
Well, I mean, Marsha Mason was a great dramatic actress. Catherine O'Hara is like one of the great comedy actresses.
Right, but if you're putting both in your head at once, I get where you're going with that.
So every single review from the time is like, they're just going for Beetlejuice. What's interesting is I've read a bunch of like retrospective reviews about like Drop Dead Fred, a cult classic now. And they point out that like this movie probably just arrived 2 years too early because in a few years, Jim Carrey would do all of this stuff and it was all anybody wanted. You even see in that clip we just saw when his eyes pop out that he's just doing The Mask. In every way, he's doing The Mask.
It's just a cartoon.
You're watching
trope.
a live action cartoon, which is what The Mask is. And it is interesting how these things work, that everything sort of about Rik Mayall's performance, Hollywood rejected, but was totally ready for it a few years.
Also, I feel like there was definitely a period of time where Americans thumbed their nose at British comedy. Like it still is. It's advanced, right? So this is 2 years ahead of its time. And British comedy, I find, we're always following it, remaking what they make, but making like a lighter version or a less harsh version. So, he comes off harsh and crass, and he's only got a few moments where he's super lovable, but that's what makes those moments so special is because he says exactly what he's thinking. So if he says, snot face, you look great, then you look great, snot face.
Trying to research the British comedy world he came from, I'm just reading all these names. Like,
MTV.
I don't know any of this. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that. One of those retrospectives, Den of Geek in 2017, quote, if you're of a certain age and, much like Phoebe Cates' protagonist Elizabeth at the beginning of the movie, you haven't seen Fred since you were a child. You may remember it as a childhood staple that you were probably a bit young to be watching. For many, it might have been your introduction to Mayall's comic stylings. However, also like Lizzie, Fred's anarchic behavior has different implications when you meet him again in adulthood. Some viewers now go by the reading that the film has more of Fight Club than Beetlejuice. And Fred is well and truly in her head, discounting the fantasy part. This would make it a much darker film than was clearly intended, especially in the haircutting incident, which is already weird enough in the way that it's presented without tipping the film into the realm of psychological horror.
Wait a fucking second. Am I the only one that just accepts that he's not real? This is her doing all of this?
Yeah, that's always been my reading. But the movie, it does play it like you're not going to get a definitive answer on that.
because of the last scene where he is talking to Mickey's daughter and they're doing, she is talking about Drop Dead Fred or whatever, and he's moved on. Like that's evidence that he's real. But no, that's a child going through divorce who's also having a really hard time. She's the exact kind of person who might pick up a little something from their super obsessed father, who's always talking about this Lizzie girl and her Drop Dead Fred. I mean, what are they?
Well, that's evidence that Fred is a magical divorce fairy who goes to visit little kids who need a little, like Divorce Dog from the 80s. You remember Divorce Dog?
Okay, but no. Is that a dog that comes to see you if you get a divorce? Okay.
You got it.
All right, well, he never showed up in my house, but our apartment didn't allow pets. Pointedly, Lizzie did not start seeing Drop Dead Fred. I'm sorry. Only saw him while her parents were still together.
Yeah. Which is a very smart choice the movie makes.
I love that the dad doesn't come back again. I love that he's only mentioned a couple times and it's never by Lizzie, except for to talk about how she wished that her dad would have thrown her mom. She's expressing exactly what a lot of people with abusive mothers express, which is, I did not have a dad as a buffer. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had an abusive mom. You can't have both. If you have a strong father who is kind, you don't have an abusive mother. So those of us with that, I'm not saying me, had an abusive mother, also feel abandoned by their dad, even if he's there.
Her real dad, when we see him, is British, like Fred. So Fred is a manifestation of who she wishes her dad would be.
Yeah.
An assertive, fun figure of chaos.
Because he's interested in what he asks her follow-up questions. He loves her precociousness. Like, he finds her entertaining. He understands what it is to be a child. The mom is so cruel for designing this beautiful palace of things you can't touch. Even as cruel as to put a flower that the girl is allergic to in a prominent spot. Like this, it's asking a smart, only child, bored child, curious child to live in a museum where she can only fuck things up. You put carpet in your dining room and you're mad at the mud on the carpet, motherfucker? It's a dining room. White carpet.
She wants to be angry.
She wants to be angry.
It's like if you're the mother of the girl from Hereditary and you're like,
Stick your head out the window.
I'm supposed to not have peanut butter all over my house on all my surfaces? Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to live like that? That's not fair. I'm going to put peanut butter everywhere. Why do you have to put gladiolas everywhere? Put something else. Right. You know your daughter's allergic.
Right.
Quote, it's definitely a film about overcoming emotional abuse, but neither the film nor its subtext could ever be called subtle. The subtext is dressed in garish green and yellow, demanding that you take it at face value, while Drop Dead Fred is a figurative manifestation of Lizzie's repressed rebellious side. Imaginary friends have to have some literal tangibility within the world of the film in order for it to work, end quote. I know that looking at it now, I think, one, every Pixar movie is basically a ripoff of this premise. And every sort of comedy these days that isn't very funny is all centered on childhood repressed trauma and mental illness. So I feel like everything owes a debt to Drop Dead Fred. But maybe in 1991, people weren't just not accustomed to having every single story be about that.
I understand that it's at the root of why this movie meant so much to me. There are certainly movies where it's just fun to quote. It's just fun that his head got squashed, that we're talking about vaginas in a kid's movie. That's crazy. We're saying shit and things, and it's dressed up as a kid's movie, but like you feel like you're getting away with something when you watch it as a kid. And I knew I loved it for that, but why it stuck with me, why I would crave to watch it, is because of the journey that Liz goes on. And I didn't realize that till watching it as an adult 9 years ago, that like, I felt seen by this movie. I felt like it was okay to be a certain way. I felt like it was okay to have residual effects of being treated a certain way, all the things. So it is the heart stuff. It is the smart stuff, the emotional introspection that makes it a movie that sticks to you.
And it's like, it's clearly a movie for kids that is rated PG-13 and has tons of curse words in it. And I love it for that. It's like the movie knows it's getting away with. A PG-13 movie means that this is not for kids, but we all know this is actually for kids. Watch it, kids.
Look at his hair. Look at his outfit. Ebert wouldn't even look at it because he's like, oh, Siskel, you think this is the worst movie of the whole year, plus it looks like a kid's movie? Skip. Where if this was the worst movie the entire year, but it was dressed up for adults, how could he call himself a true critic and not watch it? He dismissed it because it looks silly.
Yeah, and the criticisms all seem to be, this is very annoying. And
He's
I'm very
not.
susceptible to annoying stuff. And I don't think he's annoying. I think he's really funny.
He adds so much energy to every scene that he's in, and he's not the kind of mischievous where you're upset with him. Like, stop, you're fucking getting her into trouble. It's like, no, you are pushing something out of her so that she's not a freaking weirdo doormat for the rest of her life, looking like a cheerleader librarian, which I didn't know you could do that.
It's the joy of his performance of Mayall and the actors he's working against, Phoebe Cates and the young version of Phoebe Cates.
Yes, they have great
who
chemistry.
are playing off of her. And man, that kid who's not a professional actor is really, really bringing it in those scenes with him.
And she's precocious and smart, and usually that can rub me the wrong way, but like, I love the way they put her. I love how excited she is. I love that this is her just like really excited about her own ideas and about what kind of shit she's going to get up to and just all the things you have to do to make yourself not lonely. I don't know. I just buy all of it. She deserves to be precocious and smart if she's also being mistreated this way, like Harry Potter.
Or it's just like kids are annoying and you're allowed to be annoying and like deal with it, mom and dad. Deal with it, mom.
I wasn't born to be an accessory to your beautiful house. Like I'm not here to like fill out that Christmas card that you want to send to everybody. I actually have thoughts, and you're probably a really smart, capable woman. He's a probably smart, capable man. Guess what you made? A smart, capable person who you are not letting be a kid.
All right, let's get into the production history of Drop Dead Fred. And this is one of those movies where there's just not that much out there, unfortunately.
Great.
Atta de Jong is the Dutch director of this movie. He directed a lot of movies in the 70s and 80s in Holland. And then like Paul Verhoeven, his countryman, he went over to Hollywood, had way less success than Verhoeven, and then returned to the Netherlands and kept working there.
You guys are uptight. Mm-hmm. Is that how he sounds?
Made 2 other movies after this. None were very successful. The producer of the movie is Paul Webster. There's a screenplay by Carlos Davis and Anthony Fingleton. And this is all based on a story by Elizabeth Livingston. And here's why I'm so frustrated. You should at least be able to see like okay, Elizabeth Livingston writes an idea for this movie. Elizabeth is the name of the main character in the movie.
Right.
So who is Elizabeth Livingston? Why did she write the story? There's nothing about this person anywhere online. This is the only credit on IMDb.
Could it be a pen name? And it's really it's Steven Spielberg. He wanted to tell his childhood story.
Finally, because he never gets to talk about his childhood. Oh God, imagine the Spielberg version of this movie, how heartwarming it would be.
Well, when you told me Tim Burton, I'm like, well, that would have fucking ruined it. There's a balance this movie's doing. And maybe it's all an accident, but it's so good.
Pin in the Burton thing.
I'll pin that Burton.
The Blu-ray, luckily, the Blu-ray has a feature-length commentary from the director, and he's very likable, but it is one of those director's commentaries where he's just like, oh yeah, we had to reshoot that scene. Yeah, we filmed this in LA, actually.
I tripped over my lederhosen here.
The director's commentaries are hit and miss because you can get incredible insight, or it's just the most practical. Like, oh yeah, she was a little sick that day. We had to get her in.
Right, like, guy, we're not here because we want to know about like the nuts and bolts of that day's craft. We want to give us some of it.
That has its place.
Some of it, but like, yeah, you know when you're butting up against a neuroatypical kind of. I'm telling you about the process here. I find it neat. So will you.
There is an interview though with Ata de Jong and the producer Paul Webster, and they sort of tell the story of how the movie came about, which is there were these screenwriters, Carlos Davis and Anthony Fingleton, who were friends with this woman, Elizabeth Livingston, and they said it was a short story, but you can find the original text of what she did on the internet, and it looks more like a movie treatment. I don't know how this ended up, getting optioned by a studio or by a production company, but it ends up getting developed, and they are brought aboard as screenwriters, and then they hook up with Paul Webster and with Ata de Jong. And what they said is,
I just feel like a money laundering scam that just happened to get fucking pushed all the way through, like almost an accident. For there not to be like any real backup story to like, considering how Sweet Home Alabama jumping through months of hoops to get made when it's like the most obvious movie that should get made, and this one just sails through.
I don't know that it sailed through, but even if you remember, that movie also had an original screenwriter of sort of confusing, unknown provenance, and there's not that much information about him. There are just movies where it's just not all of this is very well documented.
Yeah. And
usually we're talking about, the reason I rely on oral history so much is there's enough of an audience that an outlet will commission a writer to go interview all the people. And that just hasn't been done with Drop Dead Fred. Let me do it. Let me talk to these people.
Yes. Can we talk to Phoebe Cates? She is doing great.
The, thing on this movie's Wikipedia page says that this movie was offered to Tim Burton and to Robin Williams. What that is sourced to is the same Den of Geek article I was reading from earlier, but that Den of Geek thing is just an essay, and it says that the movie was offered to Tim Burton and Robin Williams, but that isn't sourced to anything. So it's unclear, where did that come from? And
so what, you could just say things in that kind of article without sourcing them?
You should source them, but it's not like this doesn't happen all of the time.
Den of Geek.
And it could very well have been movies are in development for a long time, and it's just the production company could have said, who would be great for this? Robin Williams.
Right. Just like with Showgirls, we could have had anybody. Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson. We chose Nomi Malone.
Because the story that Webster and de Jong tell is that when the script was being written, it was only with Rik Mayall in mind. And they even said Rik Mayall deserves screenwriting credit because what the producer said, he said, quote,
they did a Jim Carrey on him. Just do something.
I mean, kind of. He says that that we, meaning he and the director, we sat with Rick and Tony and Carlos reworking the script, and Rick would basically provide the comedy. He would provide the gags, and Carlos and Tony would shape it narratively, and then Ata would turn it into a film. End quote.
Yeah.
So if Robin Williams was ever intended to be cast in this role, I found no evidence for that.
You just imagine all the fucking voices he'd be doing.
Thank fucking God.
When did Aladdin come out compared to this one? 1991 is this. 1 year later. Right. And 1 year before that, and he was in the not in Elm Enchanted Forest. Is that it? No, Fern Gully. Mm-hmm. In Fern Gully the same year as Aladdin. So that's all he really had in there. I mean, if you watch his stand up too, it's all, and he's an amazing impressionist, but like dude, there's got to be other ways. And I mean, then you look at Mrs. Doubtfire, and it's just here's another reason to have him do 20 impressions in a row,
Sally
and then
Field,
Birdcage too.
Sally Field recently said she's in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Right? She said something like Pierce Brosnan had us cracking up on set because we were so exhausted from Robin Williams.
Yes.
And imagine how on that guy is.
Well, and he's always workshopping something, right? And he's so uncomfortable in his skin. And I can name 2 people that are like this, and it is exhausting because it's like, can words be said around you without you then saying those words in a fun way? Or like,
I noticed you said Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi.
No, I didn't.
Well, because like, if I didn't think a reaction was needed, it'd be fine. But like, I can't always be on to like support that kind of.
So the movie was always intended, at least in their telling, for Rik Mayall. And again, they said he almost deserves screenwriting credit, that he just is Fred. So who is, though, Rik Mayall? We all want to know. Rik Mayall died at age 56 in 2014. The Guardian, in its obituary, said about him, quote, Rik Mayall, who has died suddenly aged 56, was a phenomenal and outrageous performer, a leading light of the alternative comedy circuit that emerged from the Comedy Store in the 1980s. Oh, if you don't know, The Guardian is a British newspaper, so this is writing to a British audience for whom one of the major, it was as if Bill Murray of England had died, kind of.
Is he up there with like? Does he relate it all to the like Monty Python? So that would be a set. There's so many different like branches of very important British comedy.
I'm bad at knowing comedy, and then knowing about British comedy is its own fucking thing. But I sort of get the sense that he was the generation after Monty Python.
Right. He's the Generation X. They're the boomers. And then like Mr. Bean is somewhere in the middle of that.
I don't want to say too much because people who actually know this stuff are getting mad.
Stop getting mad at us, guys. I handled it.
And a not inconsiderable comic actor, playing in Beckett and Simon Gray on the West End stage and in Gogol at the National Theatre. Part of his success lay in the timing. His crude persona, Rick, in the breakthrough television series The Young Ones, written with Ben Elton and Lise Mayer, was a gimlet-eyed, nose-picking lunatic who nonetheless carried a terrible plausibility as a prissy, radical student of the day. Long gone were the serious political protests and scabrish intelligent reviews of the 60s student generation. Here, student life was parodied as grottic and anarchic. End quote.
So many words I don't understand.
I think it was the Gen X sort of nihilistic ethos. And again, we are 2 American blokes. We don't know anything about British comedy. And we'd love to meet a British friend. If you're a British person,
can we have a British friend?
Can you come be our Britain correspondent and tell us about things? Please and thank you. But he was a very important figure in the British comedy scene of the 80s and 90s. He and his comedy partner, Adrian Edmondson, started on stage together. They performed on TV in the British version of Saturday Night Live, which was called Saturday Live, as the Dangerous Brothers. Let's go ahead and watch 30 seconds of that. Would you like to watch more of the Dangerous Brothers?
I would.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's very it's very British, but yeah, he's very, very likable, and you can see why.
Jennifer. I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, he pulls the. He's half of what, I don't know, 60% of what makes this movie great, and it's his dramatic acting that is what is always so surprising to me. The little parts, there aren't many, but because of the way that he is, they are so meaningful to me that. There's something so reassuring. So if he's going to be kind to you or tell you something when he's using his serious voice, like there's just this, I can trust you thing. Like there's no question. A guy you can just trust if he uses a certain tone of voice. That is comforting as shit.
Among this big British comedy scene that had a ton of success at this time on TV, it seems like he was the one that they picked out and said, he maybe could make it in Hollywood. Let's go over to Hollywood and give him a try. Drop Dead Fred was intended to be his entry into American movies, but it didn't do that well. He made one more American movie shortly after that and then went back to England.
I should have written him a letter. I would have just thought he was too famous to care about my letter, but I'd been an American who liked him in real time.
Phoebe Cates. What comes to mind, Laci, when I say Phoebe Cates?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget that I love her in this movie, but just an adorable brunette, but a sexy person, like that a sex goddess in my head. Though she plays just as many like wholesome things too.
Well, because Fast Times, the most famous, thing about her career is the Fast Times thing. But then she's in Gremlins and she's playing a much more wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess until learning about her, what I think of is Gremlins and Fast Times, and then and retired from acting, and then actually seemed to stay retired.
Mm-hmm.
I only just learned she's married to Kevin Kline, has been married for almost 40 years.
That's amazing.
To Kevin Kline. Have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Mm-hmm. It's not one of my movies because it's a movie about guys trying to have sex, and it's like there's only so many of those I need to see.
Well, there are comedies from that era that you go back and watch and think well, I'm not laughing and I don't like it, but I can see what they were seeing at the time.
How I feel about horror from that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really mine because I didn't get to it at the right time, but I do understand why.
Yeah, or I bet if you watched Animal House, you would say it's fine. I'm not laughing.
Belushi's always funny to me. I like Blues Brothers too.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I watched it for the first time ever on Saturday, and gave it 5 stars and a heart, and this is a masterpiece. This is incredible.
Oh, I need to revisit. I've only seen it once.
Yeah, I was even thinking, should we just cover it on the show? It's so wonderful. It is so sweet. It is so insightful. It is. I can suddenly see, you rarely watch these totemic movies and see, I see why this is so revered. And she's not the lead in it. Jennifer Jason Leigh is the lead.
That's so funny.
It has to be because it was directed by a woman, by Amy Heckerling, who's a great director, that the sex in the movie is so much more sophisticated and knowing than what you're used to seeing in movies.
It's the name of the movie, and it's this pool shot that stay in my head. And so I lump it in. That's so interesting. I'm sure I would love it.
And the pool shot is you have your cake and eat it too, because she is very sexy, but it's in a fantasy, and you're flipping back to real life where Judge Reinhold is jacking off. So you're
Judge Reinhold, that's who fucking looks like what's his nose?
Like Jason Segel?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I knew there was someone in that movie.
Phoebe Cates was born in 1963. She would have been 27 or 28 when she filmed Drop Dead Fred. Now, this is her background. And this is what I found kind of interesting.
All right.
Her father, Joseph Cates, a major TV and Broadway producer. He produced The Honeymooners. He was the creator of the game show The $64,000 Question. He supposedly produced more than 1,000 television specials. And her uncle was also a major television and Broadway producer. He produced the Academy Awards 14 times. So she grew up in New York City, basically groomed for show business. She trained at Juilliard. She got a scholarship at the School of American Ballet before her career ended at age 14 due to a knee injury. She began modeling at age 10, appearing in publications like 17 magazine. Google 17 magazine, Phoebe Cates. She appears on so many of the covers. She then decides acting or modeling is not what she's interested in. She wants to act. Now things get a little fucked up. She does a screen test for a movie called Paradise that is very much, everybody understands, it's a ripoff of The Blue Lagoon. Blue Lagoon was this movie where these two sexy late teens get naked and
They are brother and sister.
Oh, are they? I've never seen it.
It's about what would you do if you're going through puberty and the only person on an island is your brother.
Okay.
Is my memory of it.
So they're doing, but the whole point is people get to see it and ooh, I'm titillated because I see these naked people. So Paradise is getting cast, and she goes to an open casting call for this movie that will film in Israel, and the role calls for a lot of nudity. She is 17 years old. She sold People magazine in 1982. Quote, I asked my father, should I do this? He said, how can you even question a lead in a feature film? I said, yeah, but what about the nudity? And he said, what are you going to do? Model for the rest of your life? What are you so hung up on nudity for? That's all I needed. I took the part. End quote. Again, she was 17 years old.
How is that legal?
I guess in Israel it's legal. And certainly there's states in the US where it's legal. She said of the part, quote, in this business, if a girl wants a career, she has to be willing to strip. If you've got a good bod, then why not show it? End quote. Nevertheless, this production was very unprofessional. The script called for, she said, way too much nudity. The story didn't demand that there be that much nudity. And in fact, the filmmakers then added more nudity with body doubles, and she was very upset about that. She started feuding with the production. She refused to do any publicity. And then the production got sued over by the studio behind Blue Lagoon for saying it was a ripoff, and Cates went on the record and said it was a ripoff.
Shit, yeah.
Phoebe Cates' character in Drop Dead Fred, I feel like she is at least seems to be drawing on this. I was groomed to be an on-camera performer. No,
What?
that the character she plays in Drop Dead Fred, a person who's like molded by these other forces, her mom, her very controlling mom, it kind of reads as a sort of stage mom almost. And I just have to think she had to be drawing on her own experiences.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the best acting performance I've seen her give, but I've only seen like 4 things with her in it. But I mean, if that makes sense, if she was just the material spoke to her, an overbearing mom, it sounds like her dad was also
that that basically her dad made her get naked on screen when she wasn't even an adult yet. And so the movie, Drop Dead Fred, I just thought that was such an interesting through line, and maybe why she's so good in the movie is
because she's a good actress, Matt. What the fuck? Jeez, this guy.
Huh? No, you draw on stuff that she understands the feeling of not being in control of your life, even when you're now an adult. Everybody still sees you as a girl.
As the product they made. Look at this
exactly,
nice product
yes.
we made. This product is lasting faulty.
Interesting that she then followed that up with Fast Times, where she has the famous nude scene. But she had only good things to say about that movie. Also, she was an adult when she made it. I mean, whether there's any difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, I don't know, but you gotta
put the line somewhere, people.
Right. And again, that movie was directed by a woman, so it probably did make a difference.
100%, especially just like the politics on set and the using it where the 80s called for it.
She became lifelong great friends with her on-screen best friend from that movie, Jennifer Jason Leigh. And I know you like that.
Goosebumps.
After that, she's in Gremlins. She has the famous Christmas monologue, my dad dressed as Santa and rotted as a corpse in the chimney, and returned for Gremlins 2. But she would say at the time in the press, there's no good parts in movies for women. Correct. She got a lot better roles on stage. Drop Dead and Fred in 1991 was her last leading role. She was set to play Steve Martin's daughter in Father of the Bride, but she dropped out because she got pregnant. And married to Kevin Kline in 1989.
Where did she meet him?
They're still married.
I guess not on the set, just in town.
You meet people.
I mean, I got it. I just like when there's a work connection.
And then she retired from acting in 1994. She returned one more time in 2001 in the movie The Anniversary Party, which was directed by her good friend Jennifer Jason Leigh. It was a favorite of her. 2005, she opens a high-end fashion boutique in Manhattan, which she still runs to this day. She says customers will say to her, "You look like Phoebe Cates." And she says, "I get that a lot."
Aww.
The movie didn't do well at the box office, although not as bad as I thought it did. It doubled its budget in America. It made $24 million worldwide. And then, like every movie Laci loves, it became a cult classic on home video. In the 2010s, there was a remake in development with Russell Brand. Get Brand in your movie. Get him to the movie theater, everyone said, on your screens. But his movie Arthur didn't do well, and so they said, no, that's okay.
Okay, so then my friend had heard her facts a little mixed up, because I thought that didn't make sense timeline-wise for him to have been considered further. He would have been like 14.
Very, very young. So that's the legacy of Drop Dead Fred. As I said, there are not that many resources about that movie. Somebody go write the oral history of Drop Dead Fred.
Give us oral.
Give us oral, please. There's a lot of love for this movie, and I really, really like this movie. I think it's a great movie, and I think it's a very good movie. It's flawed, and we will talk about it now again. If you like hearing us talk about Drop Dead Fred, we have tons of episodes of our podcast about other weird cult movies from this era. Like we did Nothing But Trouble a few months ago. Have you ever seen Mannequin, where a mannequin comes to life? We
Kim
talked
Cattrall,
about it.
Matthew McCartney.
Andrew McCarthy.
Get your fucking life together.
Heart and Souls, which has a scene that is very similar to a scene in Drop Dead Fred, where you have to be serious in a business meeting, but there's all these imaginary people talking to you. And you're like, I'm here for business, not nonsense.
Not pleasures.
What, She-Devil, Howard the Duck, all kinds of weird stuff. So go look through that back catalog. We're coming up on 200 episodes, and we have so many podcasts, such sights to show you. in our back catalog.
We have a cave of wonders.
So do you want to get into it, Laci, about Drop Dead Fred?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not? Anything goes. First thing we see is a goldfish in a bowl. Do you get it?
Yeah, she's really trying to keep her inside of a cage. She can't blossom if she keeps her in a small bowl.
Right, a goldfish will only grow as big as its bowl. And this mom's like, this is all you are. Your little girl is a fish in a bowl.
A glass bowl, it means that the thing inside is for the person outside, right? It's unblocked from every angle. It's just to be admired. It's not to actually have any kind of interior life. Literally, there's nothing inside the bowl.
Right, and Lizzie at her own apartment has a fish tank full of fish. Fish with friends. The friends, they live their fish lives together.
Hideouts, rocks, spurty things.
Yeah, and then she's reading, the mother, Marsha Mason, as Polly, is reading the little girl a book of fairy tales. Do you think that this heroic prince on the cover is supposed to look a little like Drop Dead Fred?
No.
I do. I think that he's vaguely, his
It's a green
costume looks vaguely like him, and the mother's like, and the prince rescued the princess, and the little girl immediately starts being annoying. Did they live happily ever after?
I don't know, you fucking twat. Probably. Now I'm going to go not fuck your father.
The mom's just like, Elizabeth, fucking Jesus.
You're supposed to be asleep now. What?
Let's just say yes. How do you know? Because she was a good girl. If she would have been naughty, the prince would have run away. And the little girl says, what a pile of shit. And then it's the opening credits, these opening animated credits.
Which I knew you would love, and you did.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming.
I didn't care.
Yeah,
for
you
them
like
very
them a lot.
much. I do wonder when they're doing the cute misspelling of the words, like director of photography, but photography spelled with an F. How does the director of photography feel about that?
I always think about that if it's its only credit ever. And I think he feels good. Because if you were going to give like a PowerPoint presentation of every time your name appeared on screen, that slide would pop.
You're right. Yeah.
I think it's a nice eclectic. Yeah. I always think about it when the names are hard to read. But maybe that's a cool art thing. Like I take a screen grab and you frame it. That's one to talk about.
Well, it's like if you work on The Simpsons and you get a Halloween credit, there's nothing better for your reel, your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
You might know me as James Hellbrooks.
So this guy playing Charlie, he's born and bred in a test tube to play asshole 80s guy,
Yeah,
right?
Tim Matheson frequently playing big old assholes.
Just a
in
gaping
Animal House and all kinds of
wide
stuff.
Wasp
Yes,
asshole.
yes. 21 years later, Phoebe Cates playing adult Lizzie, and she's in her car outside of her husband's car dealership, and she's rehearsing her speech. Now, I mean, how is she dressed? It's always
she's dressed like a child. I mean, she's infantilized. Right? What kind of man would even be interested in her, except for if he were just a replacement for her mom, someone who wanted complete control and to treat someone as they were a child and have them worship and rely on them. He gets to drive around the nice car, and she's in a piece of shit like Gremlin. Well, that might be why. Yeah, I mean, he's got her in a bowl.
As we see, when he finally talks to the mother, they are divorced parents exchanging the kid that they share custody of.
They have like a sexual tension between them too. Like they just have this, like this always happens on Thursdays. They have this sexual weird tension between them. They have this like knowing look. It's like she gets to vicariously fuck Charles. He's the Nigel that didn't leave because they are both on the same page. We want to control that child, right? Oh, we want to control that child.
Her husband has cheated on her. Tim Matheson as Charles has cheated on her, but she's going to go in there and she's rehearsing her big speech, and the speech is
to get him back.
I forgive you.
Well, because he fucking obviously gaslit and manipulated her in whatever previous discussion into saying they should separate, which is what he wanted.
Which is what he says, right? He always just starts talking for her immediately and he's like, babe, no, you were right. You said we need to be apart from each other. That was your idea.
She's
did? It was? I said that? Yeah, you said I should go live with Annabelle.
I don't think I said that.
Yeah, you said we need to do something positive. So that's what I did. I'm living with Annabelle. Well, I mean, actually, the first thing he says to her is like, Lizzie, what are you doing here on your lunch break? You need to be eating.
Right.
So in control of her that even though they're separated right now, he's like, honey, are you getting your nutrients?
Well, no, he needs to instantly guilt her. Like, look at you misappropriating your time. Oh, you shouldn't be in here when we have clearly lots of things to talk about. You should be using nap time to nap, sweetie. You that's not just I need you to take a nap to take care of yourself. It's you should be sad that you're not sleeping like a good girl.
Having to remind an adult to eat, something that I only thought was in the movies until I saw it in real life, when my friend had to get hospitalized overnight while he was staying with us because he just wouldn't eat.
Oh.
It's like, you're 35. You didn't know you're supposed to drink water and eat food?
That is though a neural atypical thing. Lots of people on the spectrum forget to eat or just don't prioritize it until they start to physically feel bad, which has to be extra bad because they often ignore the earlier signs of discomfort.
And then he's like, this isn't even my fault. I'm just smitten with Annabella. She bewitched me.
She did.
I couldn't help it.
Oh, no.
I didn't do this to hurt you. I just was bewitched.
By another woman. A woman who acts like a fucking child as well. A evil witch pussy came and got me. And just everything's someone else's fault, Charles.
Then a sexy lady comes into the dealership and immediately pulls him away. So Lizzie goes to the payphone to call her friend Janie, and while she's talking on the phone, her car gets broken into and then stolen.
I mean, she follows him for a little while, which is already fucking crazy, while he's in the car with the other woman. And he's just ignoring the shit out of her.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
even
odd.
but still, like, effortlessly when they're talking through the windows, he's like, "No, let's not do a big goodbye because we know
this isn't crazy that I'm doing this with a customer." All right, sweetheart, great, sound okay. I'll see you never. All right, sign the paper. Okay. And then she immediately needs the help of another domineering person who happens to be on her side, who is a good friend, and she calls her. Is it Janie?
Janie.
Janie.
Carrie Fisher.
Right. Who she leads her. She's no nonsense, and Lizzie is drawn to that.
Right. Yeah. Also, you will see always talks for her. Always just tells her what she is thinking.
She just happens to have her interest in mind in a way that the others don't. But Lizzie's clearly drawn to this. And that because she sees Mickey and she just sees another Lizzie and she's like, oh, fucking cuck. No, thank you.
Yeah. What's good about this Phoebe Cates performance is that all of those traits, she can play all of those traits, but not make this character seem like a pathetic idiot.
No, right. He's like a breath of fresh air, but at the same time, like, okay, you're not stable either. You're not in a good place either. No adult should want this kind of anarchy at a restaurant. We'll get there, but he professes his long-term love for her 3 different times in this movie, and in this cute little way, and she just goes, oh.
It just bounces off of her. She
No.
works as a
She knows. She's
works
just like,
as a court reporter in Minneapolis. This movie's filmed on location in Minneapolis. It's cool to see a city you don't often see in the movies, and
Right.
like it's not wintertime, it's just a normal city.
Right.
We'll even get that mighty
That's
Mississippi.
how she met Janie. I was wondering, like, where does someone like this meet a high-powered attorney? You're a court reporter.
Oh, yep.
That
See,
must be it.
it's all there.
I like the continuity. They didn't have to, but they did it.
She goes into the courtroom. She's late, and the judge is like, she's like, "I'm sorry, Your Honor. I lost my car, my wallet, my husband, all in one lunch hour."
He's such a dick.
Come here, Lizzie. You're fired.
And then she mouths, "I'm fired." And he's like, yeah.
That's when she runs into Mickey, and he's like, "Oh shucks, we used to live next to each other, and I just loved ya.
I loved you, baby.
And I'm here at the courthouse to get a divorce."
I don't like that word. And then she's like, if you really got to stick to it if you want to not get divorced. And he's patient with her. He's like, oh, we did.
Yeah,
I tried, Lizzie.
But the best part of it is I got to keep my daughter. Look, see, here's a photo of her. And then starts like, "Hey, remember when you were such a little bastard as a kid and you threw paint on my grandmother?" She's
Grandma
like,
Buns.
I didn't do that. He's like, "Yeah, you blamed it on Fred." And then this look comes over Phoebe Cates.
Right.
Oh, drop dead
He's
Fred.
like unlocking this whole. She forgot she ever had any power. Like she ever went against the system.
Yeah.
She knew how to get under her mother's skin and make her mom look like a monster in front of her dad, she is a monster, but like really make her claws come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking power right there.
Drop dead for your right. Oh my God. I did used to kick ass and now I suck.
But I still wear the exact same outfits. They're not even different ones. This is just what I always wore.
Yeah.
I'm a Victorian child haunting a mansion.
So this notion of Drop Dead Fred now coming back to her, and she's like, "Yeah, Fred, he was my imaginary friend. He was real to me though." And the guy's like, "Yeah, real out of control." And Lizzie says, "Not always. Only when my mother was, well, you know."
Yeah, we were all a little afraid of your mom.
And what she says is, "Not Fred. He always stood up for me." So within 5 minutes of the movie, you realize, okay, this is a manifestation of the defense against my mother.
Well, and so she's at once like a bit helpless I mean, she's very helpless. And then, but also you get aggravated with the adults in her life. I shouldn't even be thinking of them that way, because it's like, just let her do something. But like, she's walking into her house after getting fired, after realizing she will be getting a divorce, and Janie's with her, who's in like like a mom working outfit with her purse, and she's got short, no fuss, no muss haircut, and then she walks in to find her mom also dressed like she's going to fucking court. I do not know why this mom dresses this way, but she's always in some kind of foxy power suit, and she's cleaning the kitchen the way it should be, and fuck it, like Lizzie needs it, doesn't know how to live without it, and is stifled by it. And you see it's so perfect right here.
And I like that when Carrie Fisher talks to the mom, she too is a little subservient to the mom, because calls her Mrs. Cronin. Like, you're two adults, you can call each other by your names. Okay, yes, Mrs. Cronin. It's not like Carrie Fisher's character grew up with this Polly character, but she goes and meets up with Carrie Fisher and starts like talking for her. Sees her like, hey, I know how you're feeling. You're feeling very conflicted. And she's like, it was the early 90s. We were all about this psychobabble. Like, I did a self-actualization workshop. Learned all about how pain is what makes you interesting. I mean, look at Elvis. And Phoebe Cates says, didn't Elvis kill himself?
Yeah, but before that, it was very interesting.
Elvis did not kill himself. That's so weird.
I mean, he did take a lot of drugs and have a heart attack on the toilet.
But people don't consider that a suicide. I mean, there's other people you could point to.
Yeah. But I guess people do think of him as having like destroyed himself, even if he didn't kill himself.
That's different, though.
Okay.
Dumbass Carrie Fisher.
I don't think it's that different, but fine. You seem pretty upset about it.
So here's what you got to say.
The tables have turned. Usually I'm shitty about Carrie Fisher. I'm totally on her side.
I know. I think her character's. I like her. I just am kind of she feels like she's from a different movie. She makes her say right aloud, like, I hate Charles. I don't need him. I don't need a man. I don't want Charles back. Phoebe Cates says all of that. And then Carrie Fisher's like, so do you feel better? She says, no, I do want him back. It's not true. I love him. And this is what I mean when I say Phoebe Cates has like this quiet dignity to this character who is being pathetic.
But earnest and like confident in her inconfidence. Like she's always kind of unapologetically being crazy.
Unapologetic.
Yeah.
I know how this might sound. I want my stupid ex-husband back. I love him.
Right. And then when she's literally doing crazy shit, she's like, did you just say piss off? And she doesn't go, no, I said Palm Springs. And instead she's like, I did, but not to you. That
is probably what makes this bearable for me, because I really can't stand there's an imaginary only I can see, even in things I like in The Leftovers or Battlestar Galactica. The person accidentally says something out loud and the other character's like, what did you say?
She just fucking leans in. But I mean, she knows that she does have something going on, and she's like, I've had people fucking offering to take care of me my whole life. I mean,
and at one point she just says, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And it's charming.
It is. But like in the mall when she's really fucking getting into it, and then she just sits down with the people she just did that in front of, she's like, I fucking don't care what you guys think of me.
So they're walking into the apartment and Carrie Fisher says, I feel like it's all about choice. And since you've already chosen, what you need to do is choose what you chose.
Okay, Peggy Hill. Choose the choice.
Yeah. So Marsha Mason is there packing up for Lizzie and is like, you're coming home with me.
Pointedly, she's cleaning, which is also a fucking slap in the face. Anytime someone offers to clean your house after having just stepped in it,
yeah,
consider yourself insulted.
Classic mom move. Classic adult mom move.
But look, she's using Windex on the counter, which is all I ever cleaned with as a kid.
Oh, what else validating. Do you need? Yeah.
Well, it's window cleaner.
No. It's
Windex.
good for whatever.
Windex.
I understand, but you can use it on all kinds of surfaces.
Then I guess everyone
Windex,
did.
Promo code 1WR. Coming home with me right now. And she says, no, I'm not. And she just says, don't disagree with your mother, dear. Just that's it. That's all it takes is I just have to say like, no. Good girls don't disagree with their mothers. Oh, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I am a good girl. And then smash cut immediately to in the car with her mom, getting out of her childhood home.
She shouldn't be in the car with her mom, right? She's got her own car.
Yeah, but she's driven. She's driven by her mom. Because if she had brought her own car, she'd have some semblance of control. Although her car was stolen.
Oh, right. Okay. I love that the movie spends no time trying to get anything back. Fuck it. Whatever. I didn't even care.
Yeah, I was in the shit
car anyway.
But it might always be happening to her.
Yeah.
as somebody who's just so out of control of her life.
And why should she need her license and credit card? She's not allowed to use those things without permission anyway. But look, so she walks in this entire movie. She never wears pink except for when her mom forces her to wear pink one time. And so she walks into this room and immediately feels wrong. Like it looks like a little girl's room, but it doesn't look like her room. And then you notice every other time in the movie, including what we just saw, the mom is always in pink. It is her favorite color. So like, I'm not even Lizzie's space where she lives in a museum. She's not allowed to fucking touch anything. There's white carpet in the dining room. I'd like to re-illustrate that. There's a whole room she's not allowed to go in, and yet there's traps in there like ink wells. And the room she can go in is in the middle of it are gladiolas, which she's fucking allergic to. So she at least has a bedroom. And it looks nothing like her.
Yeah, because presumably, she was 17 years old living in this room. She didn't have posters of Bret Michaels from Poison on the wall. She just had to live in this little doll room,
right?
As a 17-year-old.
Well, but and this is a very realistic reaction, and it is what happens when you are with a parent who uses your big emotions against you, happy ones and sad ones. You do learn to be hard to read and to just not emote much. And like to put a giant poster of something you love on the wall would be to admit you love something. She just tucked it all in. Like,
yeah, I'll keep this as exactly as it was. I will not rock the boat. I will not give her any ammunition whatsoever. But we flash back to her. Well, she goes like looking around the room and finds this old taped up Jack in the Box. And this makes her flashback to...
Well, perfectly it falls out of where it was and hits her in the head, right? Because it's like everything with Fred has to be kind of rough.
Yes, because the first time we see her is in the flashback, see him, we just see his arm come out from the bed and just bonk her.
Yes. And the mom, when she takes this thing to hide it, she says, I'm putting this away, and if you ever touch it, I will burn it or something. She threatens to kill him or something. She hides it in her closet. You fucking bitch. You want Lizzie to find it.
Yeah.
You want her to fuck up.
After this flashback thing with him bonking her on the head happens, and this like causes her to jar awake in the present, and the Jack in the Box is like operating itself, and then Drop Dead Fred comes out of it. Rik Mayall is now in the movie, starts Rik Mayalling out, calling her snot face. She got old. She's ugly.
Ew. I'm sorry.
He is a lot. He is a lot.
But he's good at it. He's on point. There are plenty of people who are a lot and who are annoying, but like he's going somewhere with everything. He's consistent.
And his entire vernacular, he's constantly talking about snot and poo.
Mm-hmm.
And really, those are his big two, snot and poo. It is in the filthy vernacular of a 5-year-old. They are obsessed with those things. It doesn't have to be any more clever than that.
He comes up with nothing she couldn't come up with her own. It's a really clever way of doing it. It's not like he's teaching her anything. He's just allowing her to be the kid she wants to be.
Yeah, I remember writing a comic book with our kid when they were 5 years old called The Adventures of Poo Poo Dinosaur, who thrived on poo poo. It's just, the kids love it.
I mean, we make a big deal about it, Matt. Whenever they go poo poo by themselves, we can't stop talking about it. Whenever they go on them. Yes.
Like Drop Dead Fred.
Big giant reactions to kids poo is all they know for a long fucking time.
Yeah, that's why it becomes the funniest thing in the world.
It's not funny. It's traumatic. I'm always telling moms, like, can you stop going?
Laci, comedy comes from a place of trauma, and this is really the central trauma is they think my poo is gross.
Not being able to control something that your body does once a day and getting yelled at for it every time is fucking weird.
It is weird. Don't yell at your kids about that. Don't be a Polly.
Oh, you stink. Oh, you shit. Now we need to find a place. Like, I mean, there's no good reaction to it.
Says like, oh, let's continue playing just like when we were kids. Let's go downstairs into the carpeted room and rub dog shit all over it. Now, then it's the next morning. Well, she's like, okay, Fred, let's play hide and seek. You go hide and I'll come find you. And he hides in the barn and she just never goes to find him. So it's the next morning. She goes downstairs and her mother is cleaning the carpet and looks up at her and says like, I don't know what to say. You're only here a few hours and you're already acting like you're 5 years old. And it's like, if you actually think your 30-year-old daughter is rubbing dog shit on your carpet, you got problems.
Well, she needs to go to a facility. This is beyond. But it's this mom's fantasy.
That's what she
wants to be pissy mom on her knees scrubbing. Elizabeth, Oh, Elizabeth. That's why she makes the fucking little sign, do not enter. Like, she knows what kind of kid Elizabeth is. There must have been little moments all through her childhood where this stuff came out. How could it not?
If you didn't want this to happen, you wouldn't like be chill about it later. Like, done cleaning up the dog shit. Let's have coffee together, hon.
Your mind would be blown. You'd just be like, really? Why would you? How did you even find it? We don't have a dog. Like,
so
what?
much of it too. Lizzie is pouring coffee. Laci's most disgusted moment in cinema history is just her pouring coffee.
I didn't even notice it in this movie, but like, oh my god, this mom loves to get her dick sucked, especially after she's been wronged. So like, I mean, she's so upset. She's just got every reason to just flutter through this kitchen. And honestly, Elizabeth, this, and this. And I know I'm going to give you a makeover later, and I'm not telling you that, but I'm about to do whatever the fuck I want to you. Blah, 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 blah. And you've given me the perfect reason to do it. And now I don't feel bad at all. And even if I was going to, and now I could just point to this, and you'll shut the fuck up. Did you make me a cup of coffee? Like, she just loves, like, you're honeymooning me because you were such a bad girl. And
to just explain, Laci really hates the sound of pouring coffee.
I hate the sound of pouring.
But especially pouring coffee. And people drinking coffee.
Only because only if they do this after they drink. And only because the sound of pouring coffee comes with my second least favorite sound, which is the sound of a spoon ding, 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 ding. So that's the problem with coffee, is it's a twofer.
It sends you to the sunken place.
Ding. No, that is a coincidence. I have always hated those two fucking sounds.
Do you like it later in the movie when Lizzie's on the tugboat and she's just got her cup?
No! But Matt, that's the brilliance of this movie. I love this movie so much that I didn't even notice these things.
Okay.
Now I'm not going to tell you my big epiphany.
No, let's hear it.
It's only about me. It's not about the movie we're talking about. So.
Okay.
So we can talk about it later.
Mom, do you remember my imaginary friend? And the mom's like, no, I don't remember Drop Dead Fred at all. But, Fred is now, we're seeing the dynamic that will be at play in the movie is Lizzie can see and hear Fred and he's just screaming and just blah and Mahatma Gandhi, I'm in the fridge. And she has to just ignore it.
Then he gets cold. He's in the fridge like, brr.
Mom shuts him into the fridge and then smushes his face and then he comes out and he's got this, charming prosthetic.
It's so good.
Early in the run of our podcast, we coined the term flippity-flu to refer to just kind of whimsical practical prosthetics and stop motion that seem to be sprinkled in a lot of Laci movies of her childhood. She wanted a little whimsy in her world and she just wasn't getting it in real life. She needed it in the movies.
I did it with my art and with my outfits. I was the whimsy.
Oh, you were a whimsical outfitter? Like what would you put on?
I would make my outfits. Or I'd put on everything.
What do you mean make your outfits?
Well, I'd go to Goodwill, or when I was a kid and I didn't know to go to Goodwill, I'd like cut up doll clothes and make it into a shirt, or like put enough of it together to make it into a thing. Or I'd wear things that weren't clothes, like ribbons and paper and stuff. Normal shit.
No, yeah,
I was always putting stuff on my head, and then when I was old enough, I would take apart old clothes and make them into new clothes, and then I'd go to Goodwill and make those things into clothes.
Yeah, you had no one to nurture you to be like, oh, wow, I really love the way you put that bowl on your head.
My mom was always pretty supportive of it. Like,
okay.
But she had the same compliment to everything. It was like, you're so creative. So it was just like, okay, I need someone else to fucking tell me something.
It really is impossible to be a parent. What do you do? That's so creative. That's bullshit.
Or what am I going to do with you?
She tells Fred to piss off and accidentally says this out loud. And the mother's like, did you tell me to pee off? It's like, I did say it, but not to you. Mother, why don't you just go ahead and sit down with me and have a cup of Joe?
No.
And the mother's like, oh, it's no wonder Charles left with you. You just don't know how to make a marriage work.
You know how I can tell? Because your marriage didn't work.
Because you're always saying piss off, which men hate. They fucking hate it.
You shouldn't tell them things about under organs. Then you remind him that you have a vagina, dear.
Fred is upset because this is when he discovers Lizzie is married, and marriage is stupid and gross and for like adults, and she's not supposed to be an adult. And he doesn't even like that she's a girl, but she's like a cool girl. So and marriage is like a girly thing, and that sucks. But this is when he tells her, like, It's no coincidence that I'm here. I've come back and I can't go home until you get happy again. So wherever Fred is from, the realm that he is confined to, he's not allowed to go back there until he helps Lizzie figure her shit out. And she says, the only thing that's going to make me happy is if I get Charles back. And he says, all right, well, I will help you. I will help you. Now, we have the first of 2 extended flashbacks to when she was a kid. And we get to see the little girl played by Ashley Peldon is the young actress's name. He said she's not a professional actor. She was in stuff before this. And then she went on to be she had a role on That 70s Show. She was on The Pretender. She was in MTV's comedy series Connected.
But go to the order of things. She was barely she's age 3 in the second to last. I mean, that's hardly anything. I mean, that she'd even remember.
Right, she's literally a baby on Guiding Light.
Right.
Okay, but she did have a career. So we get to the first of 2 extended flashbacks. We get to see Ashley Peldon as young Lizzie. Very, very good, and has a lot of chemistry with Fred. And I think that the movie, I've not seen anything else directed by Ata de Jong, but he seems to like actors, and he likes to just let 2 actors be in the frame and just watch them talk to each other. He doesn't cut. Whenever we watch movies with kid performances like Dennis the Menace, you notice how it's cut, reverse shot, because it's
so controlled.
Let me get, we had this kid say the line over and over and over again.
Right. Let me get the most precious. But when really what makes this work is how normal she doesn't say everything the right way either. And that's what makes it seem as real as it's going to get from this little 4-year-old.
Right. When you have a little precocious 4-year-old, you get them to say the best line they can possibly say. Then you cut to the reaction shot. Then you cut back to them and you get them saying another line that's perfect.
Right.
Here they don't cut. They let them just go back and forth.
And the experience of being with a 4-year-old is them saying things that are probably a little too big for what they're saying words they don't quite know yet. And them fucking up. They're still a perfect 4-year-old in a movie is annoying. But I love that his hands are always dirty. His nails are always dirty. And I wonder if this scene wasn't the first one they did. And truly whatever they used to get on the shirts just never got off the actor's hands. It's because he just stays dirty the rest of the time. He's in the dog poo scene, his nails are filthy.
Yeah. And I like that he has a different look back then than he has now. Something's changed about him over the years. He does seem to age.
Yeah, he's reflecting Lizzie, right? Because at the end of the day, he is Lizzie. There's no separation. He's not real. Lizzie is real.
I think he is real, though.
I don't think, okay. He never does anything she couldn't do herself. He's never accessing things she couldn't otherwise. There's nothing magical happening. It's all her imagination, and it's all stuff that a kid would think to do. She's not reaching stuff she couldn't otherwise reach.
But he knows the other magical creatures.
The only thing is the big pile of mud that is. Oh, sure, he knows the other creatures, but her experience of him experiencing those creatures are her only seeing him doing that. So,
but why would she see that? Why would she need to manifest that Fred himself has imaginary people?
She's in a room of kids who are there to see an imaginary friend, doctor, specialist. So
right, but we see each of their perspectives.
I got you, but that doesn't mean she's not thinking it up herself. She's like, well, if mine's drop dead Fred, what's other alliteration? What's other completely different yet perfectly good? I mean, why not? If she can create him, why not?
Okay. I just like to think he's real.
Well, you're a fucking idiot.
They play burglar, and
burglar is just putting shit in bags.
Yeah,
and wearing
fine
stripy
china,
shirts.
expensive teapot, and the mom wakes up like, "Oh, burglars! Oh, it's
Nigel.
so scary and dramatic. Let's call the cops immediately."
Let's not go get our kid.
Right.
Let's never go see if she's okay.
Because she wants to be burgled. She wants to call the cops. It's so
she wants
exciting.
Nigel to be a little wimpy piss bag that isn't getting up and taking charge.
And the cops arrive, and so Lizzie and Fred have to hide. And then the cops kick down the door, and then Nigel, the dad, jumps on the cop because he thinks it's a burglar.
I love how inept the cops are, too. They don't know what the fuck. This is the richest neighborhood. Why are there burglars? I guess we kicked the door down?
Yeah.
Why? Why wouldn't you just ask whoever's in to come out?
We knocked on the door. We waited for 10 seconds. Let's kick it down.
And we kick through the door.
And they arrest the dad thinking he's the burglar. And Fred now tells Lizzie, uh-oh, things are escalating. Look, just tell them it's my fault. Tell them, drop dead Fred did it. But the cops don't listen to her.
Drop dead. Drops it. That's another reason this movie just gets it. They know like if her mom were abusing the shit out of her and oh yay, finally there's cops here, I want to tell them this is exactly what the fuck would happen.
If Fred actually were real and had some sort of magic powers, he'd tell her something helpful to say that she wouldn't understand to get the cops' attention. But if you are a dumb little kid, you're like, I'll just say Drop Dead Fred did it. No one's going to know what the fuck that means. Ignore her. So
people ignore kids. They're there to ignore.
Sure. I'm saying he could tell her something.
I know, Matt, I hear what you're saying. And you're right. That's another good indicator that this is all coming from Lizzie's mind.
Yes. And so they're sitting in the tree now and she's like, maybe mommy's right. I never do anything right. And he's like, no, fucking your mom sucks. Please promise me you will never, ever, ever be like your mother. And they do a little pinky promise. And this is where I really noticed that they're just letting these two actors act and they're not cutting away from them. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's all the more effective. And so back in the present tense, the mother is taking Lizzie to get a makeover. And
into her exact outfit and haircut.
The instructions to all of the makeover people is like, more like me.
Right.
More like me, please.
See how I have blush? That's exactly the way that I did it. Do that.
And then they get back to their house and there's a note from Charles saying, Lizzie, please come home.
I miss our little games. Our games of I'm trying to get ready and you jump on my back like a spider monkey and then raspberry my stomach. That like he wants a baby and he fucking wants to hate the baby. She has no chemistry with him. She could have never had any.
Yeah, so what we're supposed to take from that is that in their marriage, she doesn't know how to act, so she just plays these games and play with him while he's shaving.
Well, she wants to shave him. She wants to do things that she thinks adult, romantic. He's so romantic. I'm going to make a romantic dinner salad. I'm going to, he's always buying me gifts and telling me, and he's romantic. Adults are just there to be flirty with each other and fuck. That's adults.
You're right. She describes what she likes about him is he's so romantic, he brings me wine.
Because he probably wanted some. Right. He used to bring me flowers. You can tell they have no conversation. He hosts a wine taste. Please tell me why someone who works at a fucking car dealership, we have no indication he owns it, is also throwing the most hoity-toity wine tasting, the Charlie Party, a party so big there's not flyers, there are posters.
So yeah, it feels like maybe there's a deleted thing, deleted subplot about how, if you remember in She-Devil with Ed Begley Jr. is I'm an accountant, but I have big plans for my life.
Right, this is how I'm working up to. I mean, I know it's a Jaguar place, so his clientele is the elite rich of the rich. Fine, but why are you hosting a really fucking expensive wine tasting party? I don't.
And your girlfriend Annabella is Bridget Fonda. Jesus Christ! How? She gets back to her apartment, but Charles isn't there. But Drop Dead Fred is, and he's like, yeah, I wrote that note.
That's the only part that he ever does that really hurts my feelings. He doesn't get what a big deal this would be to see the note of your dreams and find out it was a joke.
Yeah, but that means that Phoebe Cates wrote it herself. She wrote the note herself.
Oh, ouch, yeah.
And then went home and then got very sad. And Fred's like, hasn't got a husband, hasn't got a husband.
Has a stupid haircut. Looks just like her mother. Another stupid meg bitch.
But she's crying. She's upset because Charles doesn't want her back. I love him. He sings me flowers and brings me wine. He can be really sweet sometimes. So Fred's fucking fine.
Well, this is her saying how bad she feels about I let my mom do this. I let my mom cut my hair. I let my mom put these stupid clothes on me. Give me a makeover because this is going to get Charles back. So yeah, if I'm crazy Lizzie and Charles hasn't had a chance to see this yet, I'm going to write a fucking note and make my mom think I did it on my own. See this? Ha! He wants me back without this. So I could get that a crazy Lizzie would be like, well, looky here, mother, kind of believe her own lie, go home and then just cry about her stupid makeover.
You're saying she would have written the note before she went and got made over. So,
yeah.
Okay, I got
Or before Charles had the chance to see her made over, right? Her mom's big plan, how she's going to take charge and fix this all for Lizzie because Lizzie's too stupid to know. All the mom knows how to do is look nice. She doesn't know how to be nice. She doesn't know how to do a job. She just knows how to look hot in nylons. So she's like, my mom's just going to make me look like her.
Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, if he never even saw any of this and he wanted me back anyway. So my mom's wrong.
This was because you can even see it in the way the mom plays it. She's like, oh, I guess he wants you back.
Yeah, because it's also she's jealous that her ex-husband didn't ever try to win her back. So it's just
Yep.
mom wanting only her kid to live the exact life she
life.
lived.
Right. And if her because she's very good looking, if her hotness wasn't enough to keep Nigel around, it sucks to be a one-trick pony. You're just a horrible bitch who happens to be hot.
Who also seems like one thing that made him sour on her was the way she treated her daughter. And she's treating her daughter badly because she feels like the husband doesn't love her as much anymore and that this kid ruined their lives.
She had her to save the marriage. She even tells Lizzie that. And then says, but actually it backfired. You ruined our marriage. Like, it's just the most horrific shit you could tell a kid, which I was told. But not by my mom, by my dad.
Who otherwise was great.
No. But it's such a... It just comes out of his mouth all of a sudden. And he's like almost joking. Like, oh, no, she's my best friend. And, well, you took that away, huh? You little best friend stealer. Yeah. And then things were never the same. And it's like, that's just like a thought you just had. And you said it so breezy. And and he said it more than once, and I'm going to remember this till I'm 40 and having a podcast. like it just reverberated in my brain my whole life that I ruined everything.
Well, the important thing is you said it many times. You say shit to kids all the time.
Yeah. Like, but just to keep reiterating, like, and he would say it when he was joking and he'd say it when he was drunk and mad.
So it's like, oh, obviously this is a core part of what you believe.
Yeah, you've decided. You're so right. It's something he told himself over and over again as to why did he ruin the only relationship he ever had.
Yeah, I've called our kid like, you fucking piece of shit. I fucking hate you. You ruined everything. And it's fine. It is, because otherwise I'm good. And it's not like I've said that many times.
This was 5 to 7 times.
Yeah, and I go say sorry afterward. Hey, I shouldn't have. Things were said. We both said things we didn't mean.
My beautiful nonverbal child who can't say anything mean to me.
I mean, I'm talking about the other one.
Oh, okay.
Lizzie sneaks off because Drop Dead Fred is not happy with Lizzie dressing like a mother and an adult now, but she sneaks off in the middle of the night. She even has to sneak away from Drop Dead Fred, who's now become just another person she has to avoid, who controls her, and goes to Janie's house, who lives not just on a houseboat.
On a fucking river boat.
On a paddle wheel boat on the Mississippi River.
It's the most amazing fucking house that works. It's you need a captain.
Yeah, not permanently moored to the thing. It's just, you can just press some buttons and go.
And she uses it that way enough that Lizzie knows she can use it that way.
Yeah. So she goes in and it's the middle of the night and Carrie Fisher has the horrendous, what is this, a Madeline Coyle lookalike contest?
Madeline Coyle, okay.
And the second lady of the United States at the time.
That's so weird that I thought it was Debbie Reynolds, and that just happens to be Carrie Fisher's
Debbie
mom.
Reynolds lookalike contest. And she's also mad because Murray's over.
Yeah,
Murray's a 65-year-old man who fucks her once a month.
Who goes all night because his wife goes out. It's the partner of their law firm whose wife goes out of town once a month and he sleeps over there.
But she likes it because this is her one good fuck a month. This is my Murray night. Mm-hmm. I get one decent shtup a month. And you had to pick tonight, but fine, come sleep on my houseboat. And so we flash back
on the paddle
to Fred cutting Lizzie's hair as a kid, and then Lizzie wakes up and her own hair has been cut in the middle of the night.
Which is the most disturbing thing that she does on her own if Fred isn't real.
I'd say the violin assault is pretty bad too. Do you ever cut your hair as a kid? Figure we all do that.
I tried to shave my face and gave myself cut, saw my dad do it, so I went to do it and cut my lip. But I don't remember cutting my hair. I cut my doll's hair and all my Barbie's hair, and they all look just like this.
Oh yeah, gotta do that. I never owned Barbies, and even I did that.
Okay, well, you're a monster. Those things are $20 a pop.
The thing that I remember my parents reacting hugest to was nothing on either of our bodies. My brother spray painted. We had a backyard wrestling federation, and he spray painted the logos on our driveway.
Oh, Matt. You could just spray paint the grass.
My brother did it. It wasn't me. They were so fucking...
I'd be mad too. What an idiot.
He wrote...
in Meadowbrook?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking read the room.
You dumb little 8-year-old? Yeah.
Oh, he was 8. Okay. Well, then it's your fucking fault. You're fucking older than him.
I wasn't with him. I looked out my window and saw him do it. we had the old world order. We just took in real wrestling. There was the WCW and the NWO. So we did WWC and OWO. And he wrote like OWO sucks on the driveway.
He wrote sucks on the driveway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Murray comes down the stairs and he's like, hey, what's up with your freak friend? She's got her hair all over the sofa. And Carrie Fisher's like, well, she's doing like a visual actualization thing. She has an imaginary friend. And he says, I never had imaginary friends, just wet dreams.
Ew, Murray, keep it in your fucking pants.
No, Carrie Fisher's like, what are we going to do with all this wetness that just came out of me? We need a fucking boogie board, Murray.
Let's ride this wave.
And Lizzie goes out, looks out on the water, clutches her cup of coffee.
Stop, Matt. Yeah. Why are you doing this on purpose?
Looks out at the Mississippi River. And what's that? It's Charles on a speedboat.
Because that's our boat. And until she says that, I'm like, you're losing your fucking mind. I guess so. They're on the muddy Mississippi. I don't know.
All right.
So, this is the, I don't know. I think this is the wildest thing that happens. She sinks an entire home.
Well,
That's fucking wild.
All right, goes to the whatever, the bridge, and starts operating the paddle boat. The paddle wheel boat, and then Drop Dead Fred shows up, and he's so much like Laci here because she's like, "Don't touch anything, don't touch." And he's like, "I won't touch. I want to touch though. I want to touch."
I'm not like that.
Yes, you fucking are.
I'm not like that at all.
If you're told not to touch something, you go nuts.
Then don't say don't touch it.
And so they sink. They sink the boat. So Lizzie has to go to Janie's work.
So, like, and this is another one of those like dichotomy moments, right? Because it's like Lizzie is so brave to just go into work, into her office to face the music right away.
You're right, yeah.
But to look like that, to still be wet, and to go in front of the giant window of the entire business meeting happening with clients to be like, can you come here a second? Like just wait for lunch break. It's like the most childish thing. Well, something bad happened. What I got to do? I got to tell mommy.
Tell an adult, yeah.
Right. So it's like super brave. There's like moxie there.
But it's because she's this dumb kid. She doesn't know.
Well, it's not like Janie's going to tell her step 2. She's just going to go home.
Right.
But she doesn't just go home. First, she's like, Janie got some bad news.
Remember how you have a house? It sank.
This is like an underreaction of a fucking lifetime. Everything I own is on that. I mean, like, I don't know what I want Carrie Fisher to do, but it's like, it's very fun. And then what she does here. Well, hello, little sweetheart. How are you? And because she's trying to help Lizzie get through this Drop Dead Fred imaginary friend thing. Mm-hmm. She's not being judgmental about it. And she's like, Fred did it? Is he here? Is he right now? And she's like, oh my God, he's sitting next to Murray. So she takes the office chair out. I just need this. My point is, Janie is willing to act fucking insane. So like there's a bit of Lizzie in her. You know, like these people Lizzie's friends with, there's a little bit of Lizzie in them.
Yeah. Yeah. And also because she's like, going to all the weird seminars for neurotic business people at the time. So she sort of has a language to be like, all right, well, let's talk about this imaginary friend and kick their ass.
This is the version of her mom that makes sense, right? You're wearing these suits all the time and these heels because you're a lawyer who's going somewhere. You probably look normal when you get home and like put on sweatpants and you're down to earth. And yet you know what to do and you're speaking for me, but that's because like you're a caretaker and you're smart and you're capable and you see that I need help. But you're also totally understand when I'm want to do something kind of crazy. And then you get crazy too. We drive your house around. Like you could just tell that there's a fun Janie in there, even though we don't really get to see her.
Yeah, she's your classic like corporate lawyer who's like, but I also go to Burning Man.
Yeah.
And, I have a houseboat. I live on a houseboat. What can I say?
I fuck my boss. Or we're both partners. We fuck each other.
We slam into each other once a month.
But like whenever she says it out loud and then she's like, whoo, anybody hot? It's hot. And like the young partner who's next to Murray is like, oh.
She is really funny here, Carrie Fisher, beating up the air because she doesn't know that Fred is not there. He's standing next to Lizzie watching.
Right.
And she says, die, you little man. That's for my boat. And that's for the one good shtup I get a month when Murray's wife is out of town. And everybody's like, say what? What did she say? And that's when she gets up and she's like, oh, it's hot in here, isn't it?
Is everybody outside? Fucking weirdos.
So we have this lunch date scene with Lizzie and Mickey. Mickey, who has an earring.
And
a
little bit of a lisp.
Yeah.
Like, wait, because he's childlike.
Yeah, not crazy about this, Mickey. But I mean, the point of this is that
girl.
She is so funny here. I really appreciated the
yes.
second time watching it this week because Fred is just fucking so mad at her and just moving her arms around and picking up silverware and stuff and throwing it. And she has to deadpan, move her arm around herself and act like nothing is happening. And then Mickey's like, huh, you're such a free spirit. I love it. Wow.
Doesn't make sense. Like, he's so got a boner for her so bad. And, he's just like, I ran into her while she was getting fired and I was getting a divorce. It's a sign. You just know he's like that. So he's like, well, whatever the fuck's going to happen with Lizzie, God wants me to be with her.
I have that kink where I love women clearly having psychotic breaks. So this is so much fun. Wow. And then he, of course, does she throws her plate across the room. She's like, I'm going to do it too. And he starts throwing plates
noodles
everywhere.
at people. And then just, okay, you do it. Pop. And as a person who worked at a restaurant and knows how long it takes for food to come out, I am so mad at Mickey. Lizzie threw her own salad.
He's the one who gets kicked out, though, not Phoebe Cates. So Phoebe Cates and Drop Dead Fred are walking through the mall. And they're like, oh, there's like a sophisticated concert going on here in the mall.
They all get kicked out. She just walks out. She's not escorted out. But she left her dress for the Charlie party in there. So she goes, oh, my dress. And he goes, I'll get it. And no, don't do that. No, I want to. Oh, waiters. And then Mickey goes in for round 2.
There's a concert at the mall and people are very politely sitting down and eating their Chick-fil-A and watching this orchestra perform.
The kids in Gadzooks are like in their giant Jinkos.
Yeah. And they are playing this concert and Lizzie's like, Fred, I want you to get out of my life forever. And he's like, fine, I will. I'm gone.
This is how you know she's actually nuts. I mean, she just boldly has this conversation in the middle of everyone being quiet. There's plenty of places in the mall where you could have done this. Right here is so... and then she's like, well, I was just really weird and crazy in front of all of you people, and I'm not going to run away. I'm going to sit down and join you.
I'm a fan of the arts.
I would
just
also
taking this classical music and oh fuck, Fred's playing the violin.
And the actor next to her, who's just filling the seat next to her, he's so good. And like I only noticed him because I've seen it a million times. But like he's playing the perfect person who got chosen to be sat next to by the crazy person. Like he's so alert. And like so ready to be nice to her so she doesn't like try to stab him or something. And like she kind of glances at him and he's like, okay, yeah. But he's so nervous. And every time she flinches or talks, he's like, okay. And he's just a fucking background actor.
Yeah, no, you gotta find your niche. No one can sit scared like me. I'm your man.
Scared straight? No, sit scared.
Fred is playing the damn violin, so she gets up and smacks Fred. And she grabs the violin and smashes it. But then we realize this is not Fred. This is just some violinist.
Okay, you struggled. And then, she's not a violent person. So when she sees that that's what she's doing, she is so sorry. But smash cut to her mom writing a check.
I just don't know what we're going to do with you, Lizzie.
Playing such an expensive violin in the middle of the mall. Like, she's got a bitch mom everybody.
So we're going to have to go to child therapy. The psychiatrist will set you straight.
I mean,
go to this child therapy clinic. And the therapist immediately says...
It's my child annoying and crazy. My child is expressing themselves as if they've got thoughts and feelings, and I'm not nurturing them, so it's expressing itself through them pretending to have a friend.
Well, this guy specializes in the very real thing of imaginary friend syndrome. He's the world's leading expert on imaginary friend syndrome, so he's a therapist of sorts.
Gives them fucking placebo sugar pills and charges,
tells Lizzie, like, you sit here, dear, while I talk to your mom. And Drop Dead Fred is drop dead fretting out inside the waiting room, and Lizzie's trying to ignore him by reading the other mom's magazine. And the other mom's like, "Oh, is your daughter in there with the therapist?" No, I don't have a kid.
Then who's in there? My mother. Then which one of you? Me. And then she's doing great acting too, sitting there, and then Lizzie just says something like, "You need to go." Okay, yeah, we should. It's all very good.
But each one of these kids in this room is fucked up because they all have an imaginary friend.
They're fucked up because of the parent that's sitting next to them. But would love to give credit where it's due. I feel like this could be a throwaway moment. I know it's in the preview or the trailer for this movie. So they had, anyway, not the point. I always complain about when there's one good idea and then for whatever reason they have to expand on this thought and they don't go all the way with like fully formed other ideas. Like each individual kid needs to come up with a drawing they could make, and that is their imaginary friend. Like what would a completely different brain and kid draw that's a friend? That's hard to do, and do it times 5.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of these characters are different from each other, and they're not all like surrounded by this one like similarity or anything. They're all very different, weird. I don't know.
But also have to be simple and dumb enough that a kid could come up with them. And I think the idea to suddenly have Lizzie see Fred interacting with imaginary beings that she can't see is an inspired idea.
Yes.
That she now has to see him and think he's crazy. But you see each of these kids look and they get their own version. They see their own imaginary friend interacting with the air.
Don't you think that's a commentary on like a kid being told that they're crazy and need to go see this doctor? And all of a sudden they're having these thoughts of like, well, maybe this is weird to be thinking this and seeing this. And then all of a sudden they see their own imaginary friend doing the same thing. It's like they're seeing themselves through a mirror. Like, oh, I guess that's what I look like.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like this is making me think really adult introspective thoughts, and this is a bummer. I guess I look like that. Like you can bully this out of a kid. And this doctor's whole thing could be that these are placebo pills, but you have your kid interact with it and be like, okay, well, did you just see your friend? I did. Take your pill. And they're like, they're working toward getting rid of this tick that they have.
I guess so, because later in the movie she takes the pills and he gets weaker, but then she's like, this is the final pill, the goodbye pill.
Right, and there was still
it's not as if like this is a commentary on taking Ritalin or something.
No, of course not.
I mean, it
well, Matt, she wakes up to a pill on the ground. She never takes the goodbye pill.
Yes, I know, but the idea that there's a goodbye pill at all means it probably is.
It's the idea is like, here's a big giant bottle of very colorful pills.
Right.
It's for a kid to like actively play a role in. That's my thought, because this is silly. And this movie is very grounded in things that are actually happening in real otherwise. So I think that's what.
Imagine that is pretty fucking cruel to tell a kid, here, take this pill to kill your imaginary friend.
Well, because if a kid is truly that creative that they're having a hard time communicating what they need, so they created another personality to do it, that is something you're treating a symptom and not the cause. You're just going to give that kid IBS. That's all you're doing. You're like, turn this inward. This is not acceptable. I hate it.
I don't love there are some movies that do the sort of anti-medicine thing. And I love medicine. I do get the concern. That like, are we sanding down everything that's interesting about people, or are we over pathologizing things that are just characteristics and not things that we need to treat?
But I
don't think that this movie is indulging in any of that. I think it puts the blame squarely on these parents.
I think so.
When there, of course, there are tons of kids who need medicine, and giving them medicine is an act of love.
Yes, 100%. And all the edges I've sanded down on myself, I don't want to live with those pointy edges. Like maybe those things about me, maybe not treating my ADHD, maybe not treating my depression would make me more interesting sometimes, maybe even more creative, but I was miserable. So
right.
It's like, oh, we're sanding down the edges of people. Like, no, I did this I was an adult when I started taking all these things. I needed things sanded down so I could have a productive life.
Yeah, I know. You read about artists throughout history, though, and it's clear in retrospect that they just had undiagnosed things. And you wonder, like, oh, if they lived today, they would have been medicated and maybe would not have produced the art. Fine.
But if everybody lives like a more fulfilling, better life and we're surrounded by people who are feeling a little bit better, I think it's okay that we're missing some art, honestly.
And I
don't believe that someone needs to suffer so that I can see something cool.
Did you ever have an imaginary friend?
Yeah, her name was Karen.
Karen?
Mm-hmm. She's just the across the street neighbor kid that wouldn't play with me, so I named her.
So
Karen.
There was a Karen,
right?
But you had an oh God. Oh, that's so sad.
I was 5 too. I was 4
Karen.
and 5.
Why don't you play with me, Karen?
I think, and looking back, I think it's because my dad was always drunk. Like, this is when I lived with my dad. And when I think about it, it's like, I'll bet it wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'll bet she saw my dad doing
Yeah.
fucked up things and was like, oh, you're not going to go play over there anymore.
So Lizzie is confined to her bed with her very scary nurse, and her mom is making her eat her vegetables and taking her big giant green pills. And we see Lizzie's already starting to get a little catatonic. Maybe the life is going out of her.
Going back into herself the way that she was before we met her.
And Fred is trying to pull her out. So he says, like, hey, remember that time when your dad picked up that vase and threw it out the window? She's like, no, that never happened.
No, we picked up your mom and threw her out the window. That's important because she's like, that never happened. And he's like, I know, but we wish it did. Because this is a pivotal moment. This is like the most she's gotten her complacent dad to protect her and speak up for her. But what does he do? He says a few words, makes things a little bit worse, and then walks the fuck out the door. So yeah, he stood up for Lizzie in that moment, but then left her alone with a really upset mother who's now blaming the failing of the marriage on the kid.
We get the second extended flashback where Lizzie's mom is cutting her hair and the dad spills cereal and the mom immediately yells at him. And then the dad starts asking the kid about Drop Dead. What's going on with Drop Dead Fred? What are you guys up to today? He's like, we're making vodka pancakes.
Just normal fucking questions about, like, interacting with your kid's reality. What a novel, nice fucking idea.
Which infuriates the mom that the dad is even a little bit amused and indulgent. And then she says to her daughter, I don't know, Elizabeth, sometimes I feel like I don't love you as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. She says, Drop Dead Fred loves me. And she says, no more Drop Dead Fred. But Drop Dead Fred shows up and they make mud pies.
What does that newspaper say? My moon?
On moon.
On moon.
They're on the moon.
Right here? I guess
On
that would
moon.
have been.
When did we last go to the moon? 1971? Does that check out? Yeah, I guess so. I guess it does. They put the mud pies all over the room and fantasize about how they're going to kill the mom and eat her guts.
And then poop her. And then poo her, because that's how you say it if you're British.
And the mom comes in and freaks the fuck out. Fred hides in the Jack in the Box. The mom freaks out because of the mess and she grabs the Jack in the Box. And when she sees that Lizzie gets super upset about the Jack in the Box, she's like, oh, okay, finally.
That's
I saw
how
what to.
You'll cry over this. It's so fucked up. Like, you want tears from your kid.
I fucking yell at my kid and it doesn't do anything. But if I take this Jack in the Box, that seems to legitimately, this actor
Lazy
seems
fucking
terrified and is crying that the mom has taken the Jack in the Box.
Now, this is earned. Now, this crying gets under my skin a little bit, but it's short. It's not prolonged like Heart and Souls is. And this kid's good in this moment at just enough. And then it cuts to the dad like comforting her, which is like comforts you. And then it's just not right. It's just not right. And I'm going to get up and leave. Fuck you.
The mom is taping the Jack in the Box closed. The dad says, this just isn't right. And like you just said, gets up, puts on a jacket and just walks out the front door.
And so the last thing you see of him is his back and from his butt up, right? So like you're literally seeing him from Lizzie. Like her last memory of her dad is him leaving and not protecting me, having the right idea, seeing it, knowing I'm being abused, knowing that like it would have almost been better if he'd agreed with the mom. But no, you know what I am being, that what I'm dealing with, and you're going to let me live with my mom after you divorce her. You have completely abandoned me. And they don't have to like say any kind of long thing or make a plot point about it later when she's an adult. What I love is that like he's just not even in the picture. She doesn't even mention him. It never occurs to her to go like see her dad because she's going through a divorce or get some fucking advice from him. He's got nothing. He's worse than the mom in some way because at least the mom is Johnny on the spot.
No, that's what I was going to say. He is worse than her.
Yeah.
He's abandoning. He is truly abandoning her to her fate.
Yep.
And that's it. He's just gone forever from the picture.
And Lizzie isn't spiteful about it or anything. She just has no feelings of him at all, except for that was the one guy that could have done something.
So the mom is just like, Fred has taken away her access to Fred. Fred is gone. And so she writes a letter to Fred. Dear Fred, you were my only friend, but you were taken from me. If you come back, I promise we'll run away together. And we cut to the president. Phoebe Cates is crying and says to Fred, you never answered. You just disappeared. And when you did, all the life and the spirit and all the Fred,
Fred.
it was out of me. I should never have let my mother know how to hurt me. Once she knew she could do it, she did it all the time. So I had to learn her to never show my real feelings to her. And Fred's like, well, we can run away now. We'll go win Charles back. He's having his big wine tasting at his
We could go
with
where
his car
to?
dealership friends.
To the party. What party? The Charlie party.
But the mother has locked them in, so they have to break out through the window and then go out onto the roof and the trees where the Mickey's in the trees. Like, I brought you a dress. It was very confusing for me.
Door to window service.
All right.
Well, and the fucking ball busting nurse. It's like, yes, this is, you can be mentally ill during this time in 1991. You can, but you will not be understood and you will be a problem. And the only way to take care of you, if you're rich and lucky, is we will let you live at the house, but we will have a prison guard who calls you flake, who makes fun of your mental illness to you when your mom's not around. But your mom likes it, likes that she can handle you.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up. I hate that nurse.
They arrive at the party. And
Very
Phoebe
Mardi
Cates
Gras.
is in this sexy dress.
It is so pretty.
Fred gets on the ground and he starts shuffling around on the floor looking for Charlie and then sees up the skirt of Bridget Fonda.
What do you think he sees? I mean, obviously it's vag, but like, how great could it be? It's just pussy from the ground.
It's Bridget Fonda, so maybe a little Bridget butthole.
No, I don't think the buttholes are on the outside, Matt.
Oh, you haven't seen what I've seen.
Okay. Ew.
But this Bridget Fonda is Annabella, who Charles is stopping.
She's I'm your fella, Annabella. But so this is where Fred's sour pays off, because now it's flipping around, right? Like now she's starting to see like, okay, this is the lengths my mom will go to. I'm literally locked in a room being forced to eat my vegetables with a fucking bodyguard, a prison guard, whatever. And she puts on this amazing dress. She looks like $1 million fucking bucks. And he goes, snot face, you look great. And he's just not one to compliment, right? Like he's not one, especially not on looks, not on looking like a girl, but like she looks like a woman, right? And like he doesn't make fun of women. He makes fun of girls.
Yeah.
So like it's her.
Horny.
Yeah. But it's her like realizing like there's an adult in me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with it yet, but I can bring her out when I need to.
Right. And so Charles sees this in her and suddenly he's like, oh, fuck. Now I'm attracted to this.
I mean, who wouldn't
adult
be?
version of you? Holy shit. It's enough for me to discard Bridget Fonda right here. He then turns into the Tex Avery, like howling wolf, and his eyes pop out.
Well, and he's trying to have both women and it works for a while. But
what is that?
Exactly. Right. So in movie club last night when we did this movie, that was like the burning question of like, wait, what was Charles's incentive? And I was like, I've never really asked that. I know the mom puts him up to it, and it suits him because he wants to fuck Lizzie in this state anyway. Like damn. But why? What is he telling Annabella? Like, so the only thing I can figure is, well, he was attracted to Lizzie to begin with because he likes the infantileness, he likes the control, he likes being mean daddy, and he's a creep. He likes people who look like little girls. Even Annabella is just a sexy little girl. Like, she goes up and like Lizzie does this at her at one point, only because she's being pushed by Drop Dead Fred. And Charles turns to her after Lizzie's gone and says, "Are you okay?" And she goes, I think so. Like she's a fucking Cupid doll. So it's like she's just a different. She's Shirley Temple, and this one's fucking Raggedy Ann. Like,
yeah,
he's just collecting dolls, and he's manipulating both of them because the whole time he's just telling Annabella, "Look, Lizzie knows the deal. I'm totally in control," but never gives her a reason why he should need to be doing both of these things.
Yeah, you feel like you're missing the part where it's like, I just need to stick this out for 30 more days and then the boat is mine or whatever.
Right. And so someone said it in movie club, like, well, there are signs along the way that the mom has money. But it's like, but doesn't Charles, I mean, they do live in an apartment. And maybe he's only driving that nice car because he works at the dealership. And like maybe his money is coming from Lizzie. Like the mom. I mean, because she goes and writes that check to pay for the violin. The mom breezes through, has a key to the house. She does kind of operate like she's...
Yeah, I could see that. It's just that's not since
it's not said. Yeah.
Since it's not said, I feel like that adds a dimension that maybe makes it more
Sinister,
messier than it needs to be.
Right, but
whereas I just see this, he's just a big fucking dumb guy.
He's not
just like,
dumb.
This
he's
woman,
sick. He's not dumb. He's got a weird kink, and he sees himself in the mom, and like they exchanged this look, and it's like she's just a child, Charles, and his dick is getting hard, and he's like, but I'm an adult. I can handle this. And then
so he doesn't
over.
need to tell the children reasons. It's just like,
right,
because Daddy said this, so that's fine. Exactly. You don't have to know.
He's R. Kelly. He's collecting babies.
Lizzie leaves the party and goes home. She's upset about Charles being with Annabella, but then Charles arrives and he's like, hey, I have to tell you something. You look fabulous. You need me, baby, to protect you.
I'm so glad you put on your Raggedy Ann nightgown. That is the only thing I let you wear. And good, we're going to fuck and you're wearing little tiny socks. Socks that fold like a child.
He picks her up, carries her to the bedroom to make love to her.
Puts her in bed like a baby.
Uh-huh. Like Christian putting
yep.
Bella, or what's her name? Anastasia. Into the crib. And as they're about to fuck, we hear a rustle. We hear a ruckus. And Charles is like, what's that? And Lizzie says, it's Fred. And he says, Fred, you got another man? I'll show Fred a piece of my mind. And I wrote in my notes like, oh, is Fred... Charles can hear Fred now, but no, what he hears is the mom now coming into
so
the
this
apartment.
I feel like is a clue. Like like if this movie wanted to give you a moment of thinking, oh, okay, other people or Fred can affect the world apart from her, and then it immediately takes it away from you.
Yes,
it's like nope,
it's the mom, and he whacks the nurse with an iron skillet, but then immediately like says, "Oh, Polly, hi." Yeah, you know, I'll take care of her. Just like she's just a little girl, Charles. Yeah, but I'm an adult.
I feel like
anyway, we'll exchange a soccer practice next Wednesday.
Right.
And
they're both getting off. Like they see each other. They I like this too. Let's keep doing this.
Charles returns to Lizzie and they start making out again. And he immediately starts moaning and says, "Oh, Annabella." She says, "What did you say? You called me Annabella."
Isabella.
It's Annabella.
Well, now I'm confused. It's fine.
She says, "What did you say?" And he said, "Well, yes, I called you Annabella, but isn't it better that I called you Annabella while I'm here with you than if I was off with her and called her Lizzie?" She says, "Oh, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, let's resume the makeout." But he keeps getting distracted by Fred, and Charles says, "That's enough of that, Fred." He makes Fred go away by giving Lizzie her pills. So now we get the montage of, time is moving forward. Lizzie's getting back to her old routine where she has fun shaving antics with her husband and jumps onto his back and stuff.
But you see, so whenever they're doing the little montage as she reads the letter that she wrote to herself about how she thinks their relationship was, or how she fantasizes it was, how he interacts with what she is, and the woman she is him laughing when she jumps on his back and then blows a raspberry in his face while he's trying to go to work. Her effortlessly shaving his neck and him being appreciative of it. And then you smash cut to the reality of it, and he's annoyed. Get the fuck off me! I'm trying to put my tie on. And then she goes to shave his neck, and he goes, nope, no thanks, and takes it away from her. Like none of it's what she. Either it's never going to achieve what she thinks they can be, or it never was anything. That it's trying to tell you either one of those, and I'm not sure which one.
She's walking with Carrie Fisher on the riverfront, and Carrie Fisher is so happy because she just got a check from the insurance company and holds it up. Have you ever seen that many zeros outside of the national debt? Awful. I deducted a star from the movie's score for that line. Just terrible, Carrie Fisher.
Blame it on Carrie.
I do. Bad.
But carried away.
The national debt. We're spending too much. China's buying our debt.
But someone's house gets sunk. I do appreciate the movie wrapping that up. I do. It's a little pat. It's one of the most pat moments probably, but it's like, I kind of feel better because I do like that Carrie Fisher.
Truly, if you just did not say national debt, I would that is a joke for fucking grandpa listening to NPR.
If he's going to take the grandchild to see the movie.
So now it's time to make Charles a big romantic dinner, but it turns out to be a mud pie. And he says, "What's the big idea, Lizzie? Your big romantic idea was a bunch of cow shit on a plate? Something's up
mud.
with you, girl? I don't even know."
Right. Again, not reacting big enough to this situation, just like the mom with the poo on this. It's like, I just want to be mad at you. I want to discipline you. You've acted out again. she's lost her fucking mind. You live in an apartment downtown. Where did she even find this amount of mud? What, Charles?
I can get you
and
some
she
mud.
cooked it. Like, so
I'm sorry. I'll make you a big dinner salad.
I'm so sorry. I cooked this mud. A romantic dinner salad. Okay, Lizzie. Okay. You're lucky. I love doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does make it seem like a lot hinges on the quality of the salad, Lizzie. You better act right. Make a damn good salad.
But you know, this is all they're ever doing.
Sure.
She does something wrong. She makes it up to him, and he gets to be a jerk.
And he goes into his room and slams the door where he's calling Bridget Fonda, baby, 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 baby. I love you, baby, and I like to be
Right.
baby.
We don't have ceilings in this house.
I know.
But I'm just gonna say whatever I want.
Which is another clue that Fred isn't real because she sneezes him onto the thing where he can overhear. But
really, it's a crack
He
in the
wouldn't
door.
need to be able to hear, to be up there to hear. There's no ceilings.
Well, there's that, and there's a crack in the door, right? And she probably, in a different life, or leading up to him admitting he was with, or her discovering them on the sofa, she probably heard him saying that word all the time, or like, but nope, I don't want that to be true. And she's finally like letting that be true, letting her see the real him. When he was probably acting that way the whole marriage.
And always has been so brazen about it.
Yes.
Does not have to be careful at all. And then Annabella gets mad at him. So he hangs up the phone and says, fuck you, bitch. Hey, babe, Lizzie, where's my dinner salad, okay?
I hope you like lots of radish.
Fred tells Lizzie, you have to leave him right now. And she says, I can't. I'm not strong enough. He says, yes, you are. Come with me.
The sweetest part. This is like the most emotional part is just her falling into Fred and it being so comforting in that moment of like, I don't even care where you're taking me. Just take me.
Where they go away to this Nightmare on Elm Street house. Everything's a little German expressionistic-y. It is very Tim Burton.
But it is, but it's also supposed to be the way that Lizzie as a little girl experienced this house. The gladiolas, if you notice, this is a weird angle, but they are triple the size as they were anytime they were in reality.
Yeah, because she is an adult. She's an adult child walking now through a supersized house, and the dimensions are still, they all tower over her.
But the idea is like, this is what your psyche, this is how it felt. This is how suffocating it all was. None of it seemed like pristine and beautiful. It all seemed scary because around every corner was a way for you to fuck up. The stairs aren't even real. So you might go to try to go up your room. Number one, you're not in control of when you're in your room. That gets told by your parents. Number two, if you fall down these stairs, you're going to hit the gladiolas. Like it's all like booby trapped for her to fuck up.
Yeah.
And to not be in control of where she gets to go in that house. She's like contained to the foyer here. And it's because she uses her own power to grow a tree that she can take control of this house.
And go to the second story. Has to first get past the mom who's like, you cannot go into this bedroom. And all she says is, I'm not afraid of you. And the mother's lit on fire, burns away. And so she goes into her childhood bedroom and there's the child version of herself who is taped up with the same kind of tape that the Jack in the Box was taped with. And then she gives her younger self a hug and says, you don't have to be afraid anymore.
And she has no privacy, right? She has a room that's just a loft that's all open. Anyone can see into her goldfish bowl. And it's kind of similar as the apartment that she shares with Charles. There's no real privacy. If there's no ceilings, then I shit and you can hear me, and I can be on the phone and you can hear me. And, it's like, it's all an observation deck.
You don't have to be afraid anymore. The adult has reconciled with the inner child. Fred looks at her. He's very proud. And he says, you have to go now. She's like, okay, yes, let's go. No. You have to go alone. I can't go back now. It's a great line. You've got you now. You don't need me. That is like in The Simpsons, the Lisa substitute. The note he writes her to comfort her is, you are Lisa Simpson.
Aww.
You've got you now. You don't need me. Now let's kiss on the lips.
I love that part. And I know it's weird, but I love that part.
I mean, they are two adults, but
they are, but like if he were to be kissing like Mickey Bunce's child goodbye, if she just happened to be really good really early on, is he kissing a 10-year-old later? Like, like I guess the idea is most people don't fix their shit until they're adults.
He's British and that's what they do. They kiss each other. They're all Tom Brady's over there. And then it says, and say my name. And what she says is drop dead Fred. The reason he is called that is you have to eventually learn to grow past him and say,
tell him to drop dead.
Drop dead. I don't need you anymore. Wakes up, does not take the final pill, then walks into the room, and Charles is like, "Where's my salad?" Like, just dumps the salad on his head. I like that it's not very dramatic. It's just
right. And then
now you're a big salad face, and here's a booger for your face. Bye, Charles. Goes back to her mom's house, and her mom yells at her, "Hey, you dumb bitch! What are you doing?"
I'll be lonely.
What did she go back to the house for, though?
To confront her mom, I'm pretty sure.
I think
she didn't even know that she'd escaped. Right?
Or was it to get the Jack in the Box?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
But she's doing closure, right?
Her mom yells at her, says, "You ruined my life. I had a child to save my marriage, and then things only got worse. My husband left me because of you." And what Phoebe Cates says is, "What a pile of shit."
How can you even say that? Right.
Which is what the little girl says at the beginning of the movie. What a pile of shit.
Yeah.
It's nice symmetry. And her mom has literally never seen her stand up to her before and is walking out the house. And so, of course, the mom has to say, "Lizzie, don't. I'll be lonely." And Lizzie hugs her mom and says, what all
need a friend.
fucking adult parents need to learn is you need a friend.
Get figure out how to interact with other people who have agency. Then maybe you won't be an evil twat.
It's great to have a great relationship with your adult kids, but they shouldn't be your friends.
Fine, but this woman gets to hide behind, well, I'm a housewife and a mother. And it's like, well, but you don't have your husband anymore. Well, but I'm a mother. So it's like, well, all she's interested in is in relationships where she has the upper hand. And she never bothered like having any peers. That's because she has a fucking personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So if she were able to have a friend, it would mean she were finally kind of dealing with her shit.
It is hard to make friends when you're adult. I sympathize.
Oh, God damn it. Fucking, she's doing nothing all day but like having carpet shampooed and shit.
The shampoo guy might be interesting. Then she goes and hangs out with Mickey, and Mickey has this daughter, Natalie, who runs out of the house covered in chocolate, and her befuddled babysitter's like, this little girl's too much for me. I simply can't. And the little girl's like, "It wasn't me, Drop Dead Fred did it." And Lizzie looks at her and sees Natalie is giving the heir a pinky swear. And we are seeing Drop Dead Fred, but then from Phoebe Cates' vantage point, she does not see him anymore, but she just smiles down at this little girl.
Which is really, I mean, and this would be your biggest evidence. See, he is real, but he's not. Because this is the daughter who's going through divorce, whose dad is Mickey Bunce, who is obsessed with a woman named Lizzie, who, get this, has a imaginary friend called Drop Dead Fred. You're telling me Mickey, who knows all about Drop Dead Fred, didn't fucking say this in front of his daughter?
That's so sad.
So it's just, this whole movie is about passing on trauma, right? So then even in a good way you can do it. But like, if it helps this little girl get through, obviously that was a shitty babysitter and she just got rid of a shitty one. Whatever.
Uh-huh. It doesn't matter if he's real or not. I don't actually think he's real. But even if he were real, still the movie, he could literally be real, but what he is a manifestation of all that is troubling her and what she needs to grow past. She needs to get him to drop.
So she looks at the Mickey Bunce's little girl, and what she sees is herself, right? So it's like, if I'm seeing myself in your little girl, then obviously she has to drop Dead Fred. I wish that for her. I hope she gets to keep him. Yeah,
because this is a dad who is not going to beat that out of her. And as we saw, he has full custody. The court awarded him.
Look, it even comes with a picture of my kid, so yeah. I know who to pick up tomorrow.
Drop Dead Fred. That's Drop Dead Fred.
Best movie ever.
Laci calls it the best movie ever.
Okay, it's not the best movie ever, but it's 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yep.
Why?
It's smart. It's ahead of its time. It's delicate, and it's full throttle. I just think it's walking a tightrope and nails it.
I agree. It's walking a tightrope. All of these things, all of the things we have said about trauma and repressed childhood trauma and all the stuff about mental illness, if it were made in a movie today, I would despise it because I feel like that's all any movies are about. 1991, fresh as fuck. And I think more powerful than anything that gets made today. Mm-hmm. More moving. It's not a perfect movie. There are things that annoy me about it. but I think it's really well directed. I think Phoebe Cates is so wonderful. Rik Mayall is very funny and great. He's also lovely.
The mom is awesome. Carrie Fisher, I like her. I love her in this role.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for me.
I'll take it.
It is hard for me to get past all the talk about snot and poo. I guess I am just a little like, I'm not that gross. I don't like.
You're not that gross.
I don't like all that
You're
gross
not
stuff.
that real. Okay, you're not in touch with
I'm
the
not
fact
that
that
real.
you're not wrapped in plastic wrap. You have snot and you shit
No, I
shit.
don't. No.
And you walk through mud. Yes, you do.
I do walk through a lot of mud. It's really,
You fucking nasty bitch.
No, and one of the best things about Ozempic is it makes you so regular
What is happening right now?
that you barely ever have to shit more than once a day, which is wonderful. As someone who hates that, because
Okay.
as you said, I don't like shit. I'm not a shit guy.
I wonder why you don't like those things about yourself, Matt. Do you think maybe you were traumatized a little bit and maybe felt disgusting?
Obviously,
because
yes, and that's
someone
boring.
Hated how much you had to have human stuff happen?
Of course, yes. Who gives a fuck though? That's so boring.
People who are going to have kids later need to fucking know this.
And the
Don't
other
do
thing
that.
it does is you never ever fart.
Me?
One who takes Ozempic, at
Oh.
least me,
No, I don't ever fart.
never fart because sometimes I will fart and I will be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's so miraculous. Be on Ozempic is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It changes everything.
This is not the Cada.
It makes the Freds go away. It quiets the noise.
This is not the coda to the show I thought we would have.
Yeah, you just told me that I'm not open, so I'm trying to be open.
And you're being gross. So
Yeah, you told me I'm not gross. I'm trying to be gross.
I just want you to be real. I want you to be gross. I'm kidding.
What are we doing next week, Lacey?
Fucking no. You said you wanted to reveal it to me. I said I want to do Muriel's wedding. You said no. It's too obscure. It has tampons in it.
I hate tampons. So gross. We are going to be starting our summer miniseries in 3 weeks from today. We will have an episode next week. We will be off the week after that. And then our summer of blank starts. Announcement
teaser.
pending. I know you're
Oh
all
my
waiting
God.
with bated
What could
breath.
it be? I've told several people.
Yeah, but they're all vaults.
They're
To
looked it up.
segue our way into the summer, we're going to next week treat ourselves to David Fincher's Gone Girl.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I love this
Which
movie so much.
the ladies like this movie because women love murder, let's be honest. And it has the word girl in the title. And then during the summer, we're discussing the most manly filmography that there is.
You think this is a girly movie?
Women love murder, as I just said.
They love it.
And they love
It
when the
often happens
word
to
girl is in the title. And it was based on a
I've-
book that women love.
I've heard everything you said. You're
So,
right. Oh, I love this movie.
yeah, me too.
I accept.
Okay, Gone Girl next week. Check out Lacey's Coloring
It's
Morphs
defunct.
channel. It's because you haven't made a video in 1 week. Wow. Oh my God.
Makes me feel ashamed.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. My band is Rural Route 9. We have an album called The Joy of Averages. On that album is the song you're hearing right now. You can listen on Spotify or wherever you get your music. And I thank you so much for listening to 1 Week Rental.
Thank you. Love you. Goodbye.